Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to Quests in Chaos. I am your GM for the evening, Tiana Hansen, and I am joined by these magnificent people around the table with me. Yes, I know. I looked for them too. It's okay.
They'll show up eventually.
She means Andrea.
But she's not around the table at the moment. So yes, welcome to today's episode of Swords and Sages. We're going to see if we can actually dive into a little bit more of the story today. It should be a lot of fun. But before we do, we're going to do a couple of the quick announcements. First of all, we are currently at 72% of the total tavern upkeep for the month. Ooh. This is bits, this is Patreon, this is every way that you guys are supporting us, and we deeply appreciate it. It keeps the lights on in this beautiful studio that we're actually able to be in. I'm so happy. So happy to be here.
Turns the lights blue sometimes, too.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it's almost like you knew blue's my favorite color.
There's a lot of blue in Quests and Chaos.
You know?
It's a problem. I have.
That's part of why when I saw that Andraste's key color was green, I rolled with green for a while.
Is this the teen angst game? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
We do have 2 children in this campaign, so.
Not a teen.
Not a teen yet.
And no angst.
Just a child.
Just wait till I hit puberty.
Oh.
With a sniffer.
Yeah. Amy, you can make the joke. We won't.
Yes, but speaking of ways that you guys can support us, we are currently at 66 of 200 followers for the month of July. If you guys want to support us without spending any money, you can follow us on Twitch, you can subscribe on YouTube, you can do you can share the social media posts, you can spread the word about us to your friends, families, worst enemies, whoever you want to inflict us upon. Every month, if we meet our goal of 200 unique followers, we do a book giveaway. For the month of July, which is only 6 more days, if we make our goal, we will do a copy of the hard...
Let me adjust that. Those are t-shirt giveaways for hitting our follower giveaway.
Uh-huh. That is your best misspelling ever.
If we hit the tavern, every time we hit the tavern upkeep, we're going to do a D&D book giveaway.
Aha!
Yeah.
So, follower giveaway is t-shirts, and the tavern upkeep giveaway is a hardcover book. And since I hear a very unhappy namesake over there, I'm going to go ahead and jump into friends of the show. So we're going to start off with Birds of Paradise. And Andrea, why don't you come join us?
Hi guys, I'm Andrea, Birds of Paradise, in case you didn't know, and I'm just about to make it rain.
Yes! It's more like hail. Hit that wonderful sound
That's
bar.
a microphone.
We're going to try not to hit the sound bar. I brought in with me a whole bunch of dice for you guys so that you have some for the giveaways and enjoy yourselves. There's a little bit of everything, including Kickstarter dice. So those are in and
I don't have those over here.
You do. As I get home.
There's a
In
set.
fact, we are starting today with the Birds of Paradise.
Mm-hmm. Superb Bird of Paradise, the original set that I created for this company. Nice. So, have fun, guys.
I just got a set of cabbages that I will be rolling tonight.
Yes, my cabbages!
And that joke was just explained to me.
Oh, baby bird.
And now baby Burp is going to be picked up and cuddled so she stops yowling quite as loudly.
Just build the baby into the story.
Yeah.
There's already an 8-year-old. I'm not going younger.
I stole my toe.
Is that what you think babies? That was a goat. That wasn't a baby.
My mother wants grandchildren, but again, I think it is too soon.
Grand goats.
I mean,
Wonderful. Other friends of, with Birds of Paradise, if you go to Birds of Paradise, you can get some amazing dice. I have some of the Lavender Mimosa and the Sandstone. No, they're too similar.
The copper.
These are the copper
Wait,
ones.
these are the copper.
Yeah.
The copper.
These are also copper. Those are the Sandstone there.
I think these are the barn owl.
Yeah,
Yes, those are the barn owl. Those are the fairy wren.
They're also very good.
I love the fairy wren.
Yes. So the Kickstarters are shipping out
Soon.
Next week or the week after. But if anyone is in California, in this area that we are in, Northern California, and want yours pick them up, then there's a way to do that, and you can reach out to Andrea. Or if you purchase them and then say whatever, we'll ship them from here.
How better
We'll
to
figure it
buy
out.
dice than just go to a food court and be like,
So yes, if you go to the Birds of Paradise website, www.birdsofparadise.com, and use our code, you will get a percentage off of your order, which is always a lot of fun. 15% could save you. Never mind.
Not a sponsor.
Nope. Another friend of the show, however, is Nord Games. They are wonderful. They are wonderful people who make really cool things that I may or may not use at some point for fun. They make wonderful D&D. They make books. They make card decks. They make all sorts of fun things that we use here fairly frequently. And some of us have even contributed to Spectacular Settlements, one of the books that they have out. And we got to playtest the Blitch. That was fun.
Yes.
Oh my god, you're being such a lich.
The Blight Lich?
The Blight Lich. It was a druid who had become a lich.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be a ditch?
Oh.
Yes, but it was a Blight Lich, so we called it a Blitch.
Lich is more fun.
Yeah.
The Blitch is much more evocative.
Which is funnier, probably.
True.
Yeah.
And if you go to nordgames.llc, nordgamesllc.com/3 and use our coupon code, Thomas, I've got this. And you use our code, you can get a percentage off of your order. I believe it's 20% off. So, you know.
Oh, wow. The gesticulating is happening already.
Scoop Laura this way.
My water is on this side.
This
Mine's on
is
my sidecar, we're all good.
Uh-huh.
Not in this range.
So, without further ado, unless there's any further announcements that I need to know about, Tomas?
Birds of Paradise giveaway.
Oh, yes, we're doing a giveaway today.
Yeah. And, I'm going to include a dice bag so that it gets out of the studio. There's another set of dice in here, too. So you get 2 sets of dice.
Secret dice.
Two for
one
the
of them
price
is
of
good.
one.
One of them is good.
One of them is pretty, the other one is brown.
There you go. One of them
these
is pretty,
dice
the other
may
is
kill
brown.
you.
Don't sniff it.
Also, do not kiss your dice. Warren?
Brian with the Frostmane will be off for the next 2 Saturdays.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be doing schedule stuff at the end of the stream, so you guys stick around to find out what else we're doing around here.
We don't take days off.
No, never.
Because none of us are working.
None of us have a life. That's the real answer here.
I'll just do it at the top of California screaming, and so then I...
Please do, I'm begging.
Oh, maybe you can get hit in the face with a bird. That would be awesome.
Welcome to Run with the Frost.
No, it's
Just another way you like
Ariel.
Fabio.
All right, so we're going to roll into some bits, courtesy of our wonderful viewers. Thank you very much. And as a reminder, any bits that come in before we go into the intro will be announced now. Otherwise, they will be announced right after we come back from break or when they go into combat, whichever comes first.
So break.
Break, yeah.
You never know.
With you lot.
I attack the 8-year-old. We need bits.
I mean, if you really want me to throw things at you, I can do that. I
was saying if we ever really need bits, we can just attack on each other.
You know, that is a fair point.
Is this like when you just start murdering NPCs for the XP because you're trying to level up?
You can do that?
This
Not in 5e, you can't.
This is why I like milestone leveling.
Same.
Yep, you're going to spend 20 weeks at level 5 and you're going to like it.
Stop picking on Frostmane. We're still grieving.
No, he's picking on himself
Yeah.
because we spent 20 weeks
episodes.
at level
so
5.
you set the precedent. I understand.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, we're only at 26 episodes. Y'all have been leveling at a pretty steady pace.
And to be fair, that was Bo's fault because Bo had a very particular idea for what he wanted to do for his next level, and we didn't get to a point where we could do that until we left the forest.
Frickin' Bo.
We love you, Bo.
So, tell us how many bits you've been granted by the chat so that you can suffer.
I have no idea what you're talking about. First of all, 500 bits from the Hefner to the players. Ezra. And 500 bits to me. 500 bits from J Matthews 85 to the DM.
He's
Come on,
still my
it's fair.
second favorite Twitch
It's fair,
user.
you know it's fair. 500 bits from the Muffin Mage to me.
Now the muffin.
Further solidifying his dislike.
What's next? The Shropshire Slasher is going to forsake me?
Probably. 500 bits from Duke Fleeg to the players. Sorry,
And
Alandra.
do
Always
things
count.
on the road bits. Wow.
I am
Yes.
impressed. He must have found a good hotel with
Yeah.
decent Wi-Fi. And 500 bits from Dead Boy to the players.
Yes.
Thank you, Dead Boy.
Oh, I forgot.
Hi,
I forgot
Mom.
that I have to go for beverages.
I don't aim for beverages. I don't think that beverages taste good with the woody thing.
You know how many hands have been on those?
Soaks up the flavor.
Soaks up the experience of the many DMs that have handled it.
Like, if I wanted to salt my drink, I'd just bring a margarita with me. I don't need to
Or
dump the bits.
stir it with your finger to get a little bit of the yes.
Tastes like latex.
Wow. All right. Well then, on that, why do you do this to me?
This is why I have to sit on the far end of the table.
It's smart. Let's go explore Candlekeep. Welcome back to Swords and Sages. We didn't quite hear the count-in because everyone is getting a little bit enthusiastic. We've gone a bit feral after a year and a half away from people.
Nobody cares.
Sure they do. They like us, so they care. So, previously on Swords and Sages, our group came together. So, Dewey has been at Candlekeep for a significant amount of time and earns his keep by running around, helping out with odd chores and the like. And he likes to help out with the travelers who come in because, well, they pay him. And it's a good way to pretend to be useful so that he can stick around.
It's a you know, to be honest, it's a way to get coin from unsuspecting travelers so that I can further my studies.
Oh, of course. And the other four, Wuya has been here for 9 days.
It's one more day than he is years old.
Start a timer.
I don't like timers. It's not my thing. But this is significant because in Candlekeep you can only stay for a 10-day per visit and then not come back for a few months afterwards. So Wuya is running out of time and getting a little bit frantic isn't quite the right word, but it's close. And then we also saw Odila, and Sabachthani and Lester come into the, well, it was quiet in Castlekeep. And then everyone arrived, and there was a little shockwave of Southern that showed up.
That's a good way to phrase it.
There's an episode title.
A shockwave of Southern, yeah, I guess. So everyone is here pursuing their own goals, most of which they have kept very much to themselves. Wuya, knowing that he is running very short on time, was receptive to the great reader Alchrist, who came to him and said, if if you wish to stay longer, since it looks like you're still working on your studies, we need you to perform a task for us. There is a mage who was studying in the Towers of Pedagogy who went missing a few days ago. We have no idea where he went. So we're going to send an 8-year-old boy to go find out.
Find Metronius.
Metronus.
Oh.
Metronius.
Metronus. My Metronus is Raven.
My Metronus.
Okay.
I don't have anything I actually want to throw at you.
Metronus.
May I interest you in any of
Just don't hit the mic.
Good point. I respect microphones too much to do that.
Got a clean shot right here.
The people, however, Thank you. Yes, Gibbs slap him for me.
I'm here to support you, James.
Thank you.
I love shtick.
I like sticks.
So, Wuya came out and talked to Dewey and said, "Hey, I would love a traveling companion. You seem like an interesting person. Let's go do an adventure together." And the adults looked at the 8-year-old and the 15-year-old and said, "Oh dear God, we cannot let them go do this on their own." So the 5 of them made their way over to the Towers of Pedagogy and were directed to the room that Metronius had been studying in. And after some examination of his materials on the desk and a ritually casted detect magic, they discovered that there was a door to an extra-dimensional space inside of this room, which is a little bit weird. Like, there's extra-dimensional spaces other places in Candlekeep that you two especially would be aware of. The hearth is 3 times bigger on the inside than it should be because of uses of extra-dimensional spaces.
Me
But-
too.
I wish I had extra-dimensional spaces to put things. Seriously. It would make life so much easier. But they're not usually found in the Towers of Pedagogy, so it's a little bit odd that it was there. So after some examination of the books, they discovered the keyword, which was scepter, in order to get in. And after realizing that the door didn't just open upon saying the word,
No.
there were 2 face plants into walls and doors. They did finally open the door and saw inside a well-appointed but not overly opulent space. It was a foyer that is made to be a working space more than anything else. And standing in the middle of the foyer is the man who matches the description that you received of Metronius. He's a relatively tall, skinny, kind of lanky human man with salt and pepper brown hair and wearing long robes. And as the door opens behind him, he turns around and looks at the 5 of you. "Oh, thank the God someone came."
Cool. Do you want to find this man? Because if you keep looking for him, you can stay here for as long as you want. We could just close this door and you could keep looking.
True. Do you want to leave?
That would be preferable, yes.
So, does the door only open one way? Because that's a very peculiar sort of door.
Well, these sorts of doors, ma'am, they do open from both sides, but this Vicentia was very clever, and you have to have a different word to get out than you do to get in.
Oh, it's like a changing passcode sort of situation.
Exactly. A little bit of extra security. From what I understand from her writing, she was a little bit, what's the word I want? Paranoid.
Dewey, did you keep the door open?
Have you all stepped inside?
No.
No.
At most, she is straddling. Like, she's kind of leaning against
Sure.
the door jam.
I will remind you, because you did see this, that a couple minutes after the word scepter was used, the door does start desolidifying.
You see, if you find him, maybe you get another 10 days. If you don't find him, you've got all the time you need.
Okay, let me just confirm. Matronus, I presume.
Yes, ma'am, and you are...
I'm Odila. This is my companions, and perhaps we might have you exit before this door dematerializes again.
But there's so much here.
Well, there we are then.
You know, we found the password in this book, Perhaps you might look a little harder to find the other password to get back out.
No, I scoured that book. That book does not have the exit password. I think she hid it somewhere in this place. I haven't been able to find it yet.
So, my question is, you've been here for a while, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Do people not like you?
I think it's more that they didn't quite realize that I was gone because I don't really talk to people very often.
How long have you been gone?
2 days? 3 days?
Is that how long they said he
Was it
gone?
2 days?
They didn't give a specific amount of time that he'd been missing, just that he had been gone for a while.
I was trying to determine if time acts differently in this room.
Is the door gonna disappear even if we hold it open?
What accent do you have to say scepter?
It's like Siri.
I do not quite understand your accent. Please try again.
Not speak child.
I'm sorry, there was a question directed at me and I missed it.
Is this door gonna dematerialize even if we stay here and hold it? If we, for instance, put a chair holding the door open.
Yes, extra-dimensional spaces are a little bit interesting like that. I mean, I suppose it would be a smart idea to leave here, but...
So again, we know where he is. We don't have to tell whatever his name was.
I mean, are you hungry?
No, there's an excellent kitchen here.
Oh, is there?
Yes, a wonderful kitchen, and 2 homunculi that cook anything that you can ask.
Huh.
And what
Are
are
they-
you trying to do in this space besides look for a way to get out when
Well-
we're offering you a way to get out?
I mean, of course, Vistandia. Yes, getting out would be probably wise. She kept all sorts of things here. Her own books, her own studies when she was studying this sort of thing. And according to the book, you might have seen it reading through her work. She was blessed of Mystra herself. In fact, I think that's why this thing's here. She was granted a permanent mansion.
We sort of just skimmed the books. Mystra is
The goddess of magic herself? The
No.
one who controls the... Okay.
I do not use magic.
Oh, fair enough. My apologies, ma'am. Most people who come here are wizards of some variety. I never thought I'd have to explain Mystra. Totally understandable.
She looks at her tiny.
Unfortunately,
I don't know who that is.
unfortunately, magic uses me.
So are there arcane books in there?
Yes, and as far as I've been able to tell, some books... So Candlekeep, right, has this rule, and the shields on the outside keep books from leaving. But if they go into extra-dimensional spaces, they don't leave. They're still within the confines, but they're not accessible to other people, and I noticed a few that were from the restricted section.
Did you happen to see a couple of human people in there? Actually, like 6 of them. Actually, there was a dwarf, 2 humans, and an elf. Come through. I don't know, maybe
That's
8 years
4.
ago.
That's not 6.
Okay.
That's 4.
Yeah, it's some people.
Scepter.
Thank you, darling.
I've only been here for a few days. I only just discovered this 10 days ago.
Oh.
But I haven't seen any people like that in here.
Have you explored everywhere and been everywhere?
Well, probably not. Vistandia was, like I said, paranoid. I'm sure that there are things like secret doors and...
Did she have a particular reason to be paranoid, I must ask?
Well, when you worship the goddess of magic, magic can go a bit weird.
Oh, just that kind of all right.
Right, the sort of paranoid where, she was doing a lot of research, she was finding a lot of things out, the fact that there are not spells named after her, like there are with Mordenkainen, is just, they do not respect women mages. Irritating.
Very true. No, I just want to make sure that, one of these extra-dimensional spaces was not going to open a portal to some unpleasant place like Celestia or something and things would be
Cleveland.
coming after us. Also there.
That's in the Dalelands, right?
Well,
Probably. all unpleasant places are.
I do admit that there would be an advantage to knowing how to get in and out of this room should I want to stay a little longer than 10 days. And there were some tomes from the restricted section I was interested in viewing. They are perhaps kept here.
It's entirely likely. She kept all sorts of interesting things in here. And, well, I mean, of course, I can't tell you all what to do, but this is an excellent place to come and study, even with trying to find the way out.
Well, okay, I have an idea. Why don't you take a break? You've been here for a little while, right? Mm-hmm. You want to get out. You should come out. Mm-hmm. Then we'll go in and look around.
We don't know how to get out.
Well, he'll stay outside, and then every hour or so, he'll be like, Scepter.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
I do have sufficient power to easily hold this open, even without the keyword. The trick was just getting it open. But I can hold it open even without the keyword, no problem, from the outside.
like a magical doorstop.
Exactly.
It's the most useful magic I've ever experienced.
Some magic can be fairly useful, and some of it can be a bit extraneous. It really depends. It really depends on who's using it.
How about that kitchen?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, the kitchen is actually, and he'll lean and point at a door that is next to a staircase. Right through there.
Is the bread fresh?
Always.
Oh, okay.
Adilla's gonna rush back to the desk that's outdoor and try to find a blank piece of paper and a writing utensil and just write in big letters "Scepter" so that the next person, just in case, our magical
Please
door.
say scepter.
Say out loud.
Stop. Yeah.
Say out loud, scepter.
Yes. She'll write something to that extent.
Yes. Yes, and that is an excellent idea. Search around because I mean you were intelligent enough to find the way in here when I imagine the Candlekeep mages weren't
Looking.
Well, they may not have been trying to.
Weren't looking.
Yeah.
This 8-year-old kid cast detect magic. Why did they not do? I don't understand. If these are smart people that run this place, why did they not cast detect magic?
That's why I was asking if they didn't like
and
them.
street smart.
Yeah.
No.
I will point out I've been in and out of Candlekeep quite a few times. Many people who live here and study here on a regular basis, they don't think much of first level spells. You know, the weaker stuff, they don't think much of them.
That's terribly elitist of them.
Well, you've met some of the Candlekeep people.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not surprised. I just wanted to make the statement.
Exactly.
Lester, honey, were you gonna go look for snacks, or what's your interest in the kitchen?
Well, I'm always interested in the kitchen. The sign of a well-run house.
Very true, very true.
I wouldn't say no to a pie.
Are there easy directions you could give us? Just a look around.
Sure. Well, let's see where to start. Festandia was. Her studies were very eclectic. So, for example, that room over there, and he points. So as he's facing you, he's pointing to his right, your left, and there, where a door is next to him. That seems to be where she exercised a lot with staves and things. Don't usually see a magic user, a pure magic user, using that sort of thing, but.
Is there a treasure chest in that room?
Not that I have noticed, I'm afraid.
Well, I would
There is a
be
room, though.
interested in seeing
Sleeping
these.
on its own.
Animated object.
I'm
I would
sorry.
be
go on.
interested in seeing these books you mentioned.
Yes, and he'll actually turn into the door that's almost directly behind him and open it and push it open. And behind him, you see what can only be described as a study. It is a room that is lined with bookshelves on every wall.
I get sleepy just looking at it.
Okay. Well,
So there's this room here, and then there is the library 2 doors down next to the exercise room.
with more
Hold
books.
up,
With more books.
Scepter!
Dear, he said he could hold it
He's
open.
holding it open.
He's still inside. He said he could hold it open from the outside. I'm not taking any chances.
Wise.
Very, very wise, ma'am. So yes, and then upstairs there's a laboratory. I think she was dabbling in alchemist sorts of things. She certainly made one of those homunculi in there.
There's monkeys in the kitchen?
Homunculi.
They're
They're-
Oh,
constructs.
okay.
Dewey has lived a very sheltered life.
I think I remember seeing you.
Yeah, you blew me off. You're like, get away from me, kid.
You owe me I want my $2.
Oh yes, you were trying to take my trunk away from me.
Yeah.
I don't let people touch my things.
He's very good at carrying stuff.
Duly noted. My apologies. I just tend to want to be left alone to my studies, but
Is there anything dangerous in this locality that we should be concerned about?
not that I have uncovered myself. But in a place like this, there's always a chance of something, well, like the animated object broom, going a little bit rogue, because magic goes a bit weird in Candlekeep.
Fantastic.
So be on your guard, certainly. But there's 5 of you, and you seem very capable sorts.
Well, actually, one sword.
Sorts.
I have a
not
mini sword.
Oh, you do?
He pulls his dagger out.
Oh, cool.
It's not the same.
Is that... Where are you all getting this mini sword thing from? This is the first time I've heard this.
New branding opportunity. Well, I, for one, would be interested in perusing the shelves.
Yeah, she has all manner of interesting objects. Like, for example, and he'll glance around to make sure that no one is looking into the room besides you guys, and pulls out a little statue of an imp. It's about yay tall. I don't know where she got this from, but it's intriguing. I really want to study it further because there's magic on it, but it's odd.
How odd? Kind of odd.
You do
Like
see
conjuration
this
odd?
skeletal bird on his shoulder.
Oh, goodness. More like a transmutation type of thing.
Oh, now that is peculiar.
Right? And so I want to examine it further, but I was trying to find the key word to get out. So,
Well,
Perhaps one of us should stay here, at least preliminarily, to make sure that that door is not going anywhere.
well, thank you for volunteering.
I'd be once I get some lemonade and a pie, I am fine with sitting right here.
well, I imagine that the homunculi in there will be more than happy to make you that sort of thing.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So come in. And I'll show you around quickly. We have
Should we?
we have a couple minutes before that closes.
Okay.
Scepter. Can I insight him to
Sure.
see if he is not going to close the door behind us?
Sure, go ahead.
13.
Okay. As far as you can tell, he is completely earnest and very. With a 13, I'll give you that he seems very excited about the possibilities that having the door open and being able to go back and forth
Gotcha.
will allow. So, do you all step in?
Oh, I mean, we have already been in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to the kitchen.
All right, we'll come back to that in a second. So the 4 of you step inside. He's like, yes, excellent. Hold that thought one moment. And he's going to reach over and pick up a pile of books that were sitting on a little table next to him. There's a few things I want to move out of here so that I have some things to look at while you all are exploring. So give me just a moment. And he picks up, he carries a pile of books to the door. And as he steps out of the door, he goes, wait, what? And you hear this unearthly scream come from him as the door slams shut and disappear.
On him?
Nope, he's on the other side.
Scepter.
The door does not
I
appear.
don't think it's supposed to work on
In
this
that
side.
brief moment of him carrying.
Well, now how?
Remember how we were concerned that this might happen? Guess what? We were correct.
In that brief moment of him walking by and taking the books, what kind of books was he taking?
There were a couple of books about the planes. There was a book or two about some transmutation magic. There was a book at the top that looked like it had been really well thumbed through that was about astrology. Or excuse me, not astrology, astronomy. Very different.
Well, let's give him like a minute. He might say scepter.
I'm gonna start casting detect magic then if he's gonna be out there. So Dewey pulls out some chalk and starts to.
On the plus side, the pie is excellent.
Well, at least we won't starve while we are indefinitely trapped in some sort of extra-dimensional pocket.
I hope that's not poisoned.
I mean, the way he was saying that the wizards are kind of dumb here, maybe he's one of the dumb wizards.
That's
Yeah.
an astute observation. I'm gonna just head to the study and start on that research.
If you don't mind, I think I might follow and see if I can help find that keyword.
Tagging him behind,
So-
just like with his backpack.
And Adilla's gonna just like try to quickly scan the books. She wants to look for any book that looked similar to the book on the desk. Like it's twin or something.
Sure.
She's also going to scan the bookshelf for any books by that same author that she was looking
Got it.
for.
So as 3 of you, 4 of you, how many of you are walking into the study?
I'm going to stay in this room and wait for the
Yeah,
door.
I'm casting a 10-minute ritual spell.
All right, so these
I'm
3.
watching him.
Also, I will tell you, Lester, when you went into the kitchen, there were 2 very eager homunculi who were named Coriander and Cumin, who were all about making sure that you were well fed and taken care of, to the point of being obnoxious
I
about
do
it.
appreciate a food pun.
Yeah, I think they're just fattening us up to kill us later. Okay.
You know, there are far more efficient ways to do that. I am just saying.
And Odilla will yell to her companions, like, look out for the book that looks similar to what we found on the desk.
Okay.
Definitely not looking for that. Looking for it.
Did our dumb wizard buddy take the imp statue with him?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He had shown it and then stuck it back into his jacket.
As they're all going, I say, watch out for that broom.
Yes, dear.
So you walk into the study, and the study is filled with several large plush armchairs. There's a desk on one side of the wall. The back wall is entirely a bookshelf. And on one of the armchairs, there is a fluffy black cat that stands up and goes, "Ah," and looks at all of you hopefully.
Grabs it. Hello.
Meow.
Okay. Puts it down. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Meow.
Okay. You're Charlie. All right, Charlie. What kind of books we got here?
And he'll look at you for a moment and then jump off of the chair that you put him onto and trot over to another chair where, Adila, you mentioned you were looking for a book that's a twin to the one on the outside. This is its twin. It has the same picture of Mordenkainen on the front with the bust, and it looks pretty much exactly like the book that's out there.
Okay. Well, that was quick, and she'll try to bring it to the desk so she can sit and leaf through it. She will assume, since it's out, that Metronius did find it, but given what just happened, she does not trust that he actually looked thoroughly enough
Sure.
to find a password.
Seem oddly convenient, don't you think, though?
I mean, I would assume Metronius found this book. He at least had enough sense to look for the same book that got him into the room. Now, his inability to find the password to exit, I mean, that would not surprise me. So I'm just going to look through.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, he said it took him he found it in a 10-day, but like he hasn't been in here for like 2 days. So that means he spent 8 days trying to get that book open, or actually this door open. So he's not very smart.
Yeah, and it took us, 10 minutes to find our way in, so...
Yeah.
There's something deeply unsettling about all of this, but I haven't quite put my finger on what.
Like it was all a trap to bring us in here and kill us.
Again, if they were just trying to fatten us up for some kind of sacrifice, there are far more efficient ways to do it than creating an entire pocket dimension.
So
It's going to take a lot of pie to fatten me up.
Lester, honey, if you keep eating like that, they won't need to fatten you up anymore. You'll go first.
Okay.
So you are examining the book with the joy of extra dimensional spaces.
Yeah.
All right. What are you two doing?
I am scanning the shelves looking for books that look similar to anything that I glanced on the stack that he was carrying.
Okay.
So anything that looks like it might be same author, part of a set, anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And Wiga, how about you?
I'm gonna see if she's done any delving into anatomy or medicinal thingies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I would like everyone to give me an investigation check, please.
Oh,
It's my personal dice. It's fine. Not 20.
Oh!
Oh, dang.
Wait, kiss mine. Oh, nice!
Yes!
2 nat 20s.
Plus, wait, investigation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
My dear, there's a little
24.
pressure on you here.
Oh, don't worry, dear. I have lived up to all of my mother's standards and rolled a 10.
Lived up to or lived down to, depending.
Yes. Doesn't matter. I'm the favorite regardless.
That helps.
It does.
So I'm going to start with you.
27.
20.
Oh, dang.
Actually, I'm going to start from the bottom of it.
Playing this game wrong.
What?
It's fine. You don't normally roll 20-sided dice. You'll get there.
Like you're supposed to roll higher, not lower in this game. Yeah.
You know,
What don't I find?
so you're scanning through the books that are on the shelves, and you see that most of them seem to be written in the same hand. Like you pull them out and you flip through them. They appear to be Fistandia's memoirs. So a lot of discussion of the sorts of things that she has studied, a little bit of a few references to Mystra and her work in advancing the study of magic, specifically through Candlekeep and then also as a worshiper of Mystra. Looking through the book with a nat 20. You do notice one very interesting thing that is different about this particular book. When you're flipping through it, it looks pretty much exactly identical to the one out there, minus some of the handwritten notes. Mm-hmm. But the biggest difference that you notice is that there is a single embossed letter underneath the title on the outside.
Okay.
It is the letter I.
Okay. I'll give that information to Dewey so he can just start saying our words.
Do I find him a dictionary? He can just start reading.
And then with your nat 20, since we managed to go on a ascending scale here, you're examining the bookshelves, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You see that they are, as she discovered, they were all written by Fistandia. But you also see that there's something weird about one of the books.
How weird.
Like it's never been pulled out, but it's usually tipped forward.
Classic.
It's a mimic. The 8-year-old goes classic.
And a secret door pulls aside, revealing a staircase that leads downstairs.
Such dumb wizards here.
So are you guys spending...
what'd you say?
Irascible.
Anyway.
But Dylan will try to find a dictionary to give to Dewey.
Impotent.
Scepter.
Ice cream.
So you're casting detect magic out there. This place is magic. Like everything about you look at the walls and it is woven magic together. This place... So you are passingly familiar with Mordenkainen's Match, and it's one of like the spells that people want to be able to cast. It's a 7th level spell, I believe. This is different than anything that you've ever read about this because this one is permanent. And
To this location or to the book?
to this location, as far as you can tell, because like when you look back and you can see what looks to you like anchor posts magically set in place. And woven through, you see a symbol over and over again that, well, make me a religion check.
Religion. It's under the R's. 14.
Okay. You recognize it kind of. You are certain that it is not one of the gods that is worshipped in the temple, in the temple or in Candlekeep directly. So it's not a god of knowledge.
I know Ugama, but that's about it.
And there's a couple others that have shrines here, but you're not familiar. You are familiar enough with deity symbols to know that this is the symbol of a deity, but you don't know which one. Although putting two and two together,
Right.
he did mention Mistra. It's probably Mistra's symbol over and over and over again, like a repeating wallpaper.
I'm gonna draw it out.
Okay.
Cloud a.
Itzitza-chittle.
So you guys have been in the study, not the library. That's different. Examining all of the books and everything. When you are flipping through the books that are around on the desk, you see a note that's kind of shoved way under the spines of some other ones. But with your nat 20, you notice it.
Okay.
You put a fingernail on it and pull it out. And there's a note written in the same handwriting as the memoirs, where she has noted to herself that she has set up the code word on the spines of books.
Okay.
I'm going to go in the secret door without telling anybody.
Roll me a stealth check.
Can I do a perception to see if I notice?
You certainly may.
The door, if not the child.
Notice the door opening.
Well, the door
right?
the door is open, so because they do that.
Oh!
Did you roll nat 20?
No, very close. Dirty 20.
Nice. Dirty
Okay, I want to do.
That's a 24 perception.
Ah, balls. Mom is watching.
My perception. I was distracted by the note. I only got 14.
Okay. Yeah, you see him trying to sneak through the door and go down the stairs.
I'm just gonna shake my head. I will go over to behind Odella and just very quietly say, it seems our little one is flying the coop. I'm gonna follow him down in case he gets himself into trouble.
And she'll just.
Holla if anything attacks. And I'm just gonna quietly follow Ouya.
Okay.
And I'm gonna finally make my way into the study.
Il mater.
Where there is only one person
Is
and an open door.
there anything magic? I mean, is the whole thing? I mean, so nothing else
You
is
get a
gonna
headache.
ping extra
Sure.
Or is
Sure. So looking in here, I mean, obviously all the walls are magic. I'm not even going to mention that
Right.
anymore. Some of the books stand out as having much like the book that you looked at back in the study, back in the study room, has spells in it, but isn't itself innately magical. So
spells in it. I'm gonna go right to those and start looking and seeing if I can find spells.
most of them are pretty high level.
It's fine.
Okay.
2, 3.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of knickknacks and things on the desk, but nothing that pings as magical.
And the cat.
The cat is very much not magical. But it does come over and rub itself up against your leg.
Pull out
we
some
learn
bacon.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's run.
Injury.
I just sensed it.
5.
The cat looks up at you and its ears go flat against its skull as it looks up at you.
Indignation.
And it very carefully reaches up and plants a paw on your leg with all of its claws in your leg.
I just go, don't you do it.
And then reaches up and grabs a piece of bacon from your hand and runs.
Oh. Useful having that bacon on you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Rusty.
Oh.
How is Rusty reacting to all of this?
He just pops his head out now and is like, and then goes back. Curls up.
Cats. Yeah. Indeed.
So the eye that was embossed on the book, was that on the spine?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then Odilla is going to then scan all the books on the shelves and just try to find other spines with embossed letters and just start noting down on a paper any of the letters she sees.
I mean, all of the spines, yeah. All of the spines have some sort of a title on them, even if it is, 37 out of 50 for her memoirs and things like that, but none of them have a single standalone letter the way that the one in your hand does.
I shall wonder if she maybe needs to go to the library to do that.
Okay.
Then, because the note didn't necessarily indicate it was the study.
She indicated that she had hidden it across her mansion in case guests got stuck.
So Odella's gonna roll her eyes, of course. And she's still trying to scan for like books from the author that she's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of those come up,
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna follow Wu Ya and Sabachthani down into the lower area. We've just barely begun, and we've split the party. What is it now, 3 ways?
Really fine.
I love it, it's great.
Incandescent.
Why?
It's not an I word. It's on the. Anyway. Nothing.
No, just let him. It could be.
I'm just enjoying this. So you go, you come down the stairs, and it's kind of a dank. Dank isn't the word that I want. Down here, it is more like the lower areas in a castle. So it's all stone in every direction. You're standing on what looks like cobblestones that are well made and well fitted. And as you come down, make me a perception check.
It's a dungeon. Well, are you still carrying over? Can't roll lower than passive perception.
That is a ruling. So yes.
We have cards.
Yes,
yeah.
Thomas, you had a picture of the cards.
Dangerous oil.
You already used that in order to title your book.
Oh, did we get rid
I
of
didn't
dangerous
use
oil?
the card.
Totally used it. No, I'm kidding.
So if we're doing that, 13.
Okay.
16.
Okay. Sabachthani, as you follow him down, you catch a really a chemical smell. Something that's very sharp.
Interesting. Okay.
Does it smell like home?
It is somewhat reminiscent of visiting my uncle's place down in, the lower parts of Avernus.
There is a hint of sulfur here.
Oh, good.
Mrs. Moreover, why are you talking to yourself?
I'm terribly sorry. I get so used to narrating what I'm doing in case Lester's listening in.
Okay. Are you the kind of couple that, like, says, like, oh, yeah, like, for lunch I had this, and then you're like, oh, my gosh, I had lunch for, like, this?
Why would we be discussing the lunch that we had together?
I don't know. Do you always eat lunch together?
Well, not always.
Well, then do you, like, when you see him again, you're like, hey, I had this, like, what do you eat in the Nine Hells? Is it, like, lots of things on fire, or, like...
There is a wide-ranging selection of well-cooked meats.
Oh, okay. So you're like, oh, I ate some bacon, and then Lester is like, oh, I ate some pork, and then you're like, that's bacon.
What are you looking for down here, Sugar?
Once again, we've opened a door.
They've opened several doors at this point.
We have like 3 or 4. We're doing
Opened
great.
a secret door.
I am continuing to walk while this conversation is
well,
happening. It's not like, hello.
Like standing over you, the massive height difference.
So as you're walking through together now, it's essentially walking through like the corridor of a castle. So directly in front of you, the stairs come down, and then and in front of you there's a door, and then you turn the corner, and there's another corridor with another door off of it.
2 doors.
Did the secret door close after them?
No.
Should we go after him?
Who?
Everyone else, they went. Must have gone that
Odilla's
way.
still up.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's
Actually, Odilla would have moved
okay.
to the library to look for books, but
Well,
Wait.
I'm open a door.
Which door would you like to open?
The nearest door. Because right now I'm not having a good time picturing this. So the nearest door.
One directly in front of us.
Yes, as you're coming down the stairs, there's a door directly in front of you. You open it, and it leads into another small corridor that has a door to your right and a door directly in front of you.
Whoever designed this place was very excited about closing off spaces.
I will burn a slot to do detect magic. which will last for 10 minutes, so that way I can start seeing that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, in this area, you're inside of a little corridor. The walls are all magic. You see the same thing that Dewey did. Do you know much about Mistra?
I probably would know of her.
Okay.
But
You recognize her symbol.
Yeah.
As a repeating motif throughout the walls, lined with, this is very well done magic. This is beautifully crafted and set up to be very permanent. But standing here in the corridor, all you really see is the magic that makes the walls and the doors and everything that you're standing on. It actually kind of hurts because it's bright. But your eyes adjust after a moment.
Yeah, we turns to you and it's like an RGB tube, just like going through colors as he's like watching all the magic. So there's a lot of magic here.
Oh, well, that's good to know. You all right there, Sugar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should we open one of these other doors, perhaps?
What if we open both of them at the same time?
All right, I'll take the left.
Okay, I'll take the nearest one.
That would be the right.
He's on the left too.
So there's one to your right and there's one in front of you.
I apologize.
No worries.
That was my misunderstanding. Yeah, then I will go straight.
Okay, I'll go to the right.
All right.
The doors, I guess I'll just look at me like, 3, 2, 1.
Are you really that short?
I'm like 3 feet something.
I love it.
And I believe we'd established that I'm like over 6 feet with my horns. So,
Nice.
So you went.
and heeled boots.
Of
so,
course.
You know,
I mean the aesthetic.
Yeah.
The aesthetic. So you
flawless, unlike everything else.
So you went straight ahead?
Yes, I went straight ahead.
All right. So we will start with you then. You open the door. This dark stone-walled room contains only a few objects. A 5-foot diameter circle of intricate runes covers the floor. There's an empty wooden bookstand opposite the door and bronze braziers at the other 3 cardinal points of the circle. Whatever materials they contained has long ago burned to cinders, but the room still smells of charcoal and sulfur. Sitting next to the bookstand is a warty toad.
Hi! Picks up the toad. What's your name?
It looks at you, ribbit, and then shifts in your hands. Roll initiative.
I was waiting to see. Is it a hallucinogenic toad? This is gonna get weird.
Lick
12. Kiss that.
12.
Okay. In your hands, this toad shifts into something that you recognize as a quasit.
Croissant?
If only.
If only.
Butter.
A quasit is a tiny demon.
Oh. Cute little demon.
Yeah, sure.
Who's a little demon?
Yeah, sure. We'll roll with that. And
Our mimic was cute. So.
and as it shifts, it screams in your face and then slashes at you.
Not fun.
Also, if there's any bits to send, we are now properly in combat. So if y'all want to
You
send
just
bits,
wanted
we're
us to
welcome
get bits.
Get boot.
There are 1,000 bits from the Muffin Mage.
Aha.
To any player that's not Ezra.
Take
So
it.
I've been holding on to that one since the break video, or since the intro video.
Man. No,
Let's give it
James, heads
to.
up.
if I have a list of my least favorite baked good based magic users,
Laura.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy those. All right, so it is making an attack on you.
Okay.
And I am not prepared. I apologize. So that oh goodness. Yes, 21 to hit.
Oh yeah.
I don't even really need to ask what your age
what's your backup character? A 10-year-old?
Right.
I'm looking for my brother.
Oh my god.
It's a paladin.
It's
with
our
18
turn.
AC.
It's our time down here.
Please, I'm begging you.
I have a sword.
It's Minnie.
It's
And here I assumed that I had found the combat, which is why we were going second. It's fine. I already have my backup character prepared.
that is pretty important. All right, so you take 4 points of damage.
Oh, we're first level, Squish.
Yeah.
And you have negatives to everything because you're an 8-year-old boy, right?
Yeah.
Not quite.
You're not stronger than a 15-year-old Dewey, for sure.
And roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh
Oh my goodness.
Wow. This is happening. 9.
Wait. We have inspiration.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's add inspiration.
Are we gonna give the boy that goes off on his own?
Yes.
I need.
Are you adding a D6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do we have
D6.
wait, we might have a card here.
Well, we
Having
also
damage.
have to use our inspiration.
Quick reaction. If you not used your bonus action.
Oh, maybe having damage. Well,
You can get a temporary first level spell slot. Advantage on a skill attack or saving
I'd kill
throw.
for a first level spell slot. I think a D6 is enough, though.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
What's your cons?
That works.
I said a 9.
You said
right?
9.
Yeah, so that means I rolled a 7. Okay, so +1, so 10.
You pass.
Yeah!
And I will
Wow.
tell you, that was what did it.
If you donate the bits, we don't have to create a new character.
Because you all love Wuya, right? After 1.5 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, one and a bit. So yeah, this thing slashes at you, screaming in your face, and you feel something tingle in your veins for a second, but you're able to focus and push that away. Your turn. I need index cards. I'm so mad I didn't grab them.
Ooh.
If we did have any, they would be up there in that black thing.
Okay, I'll look on the break.
Okay.
For now, just have your character sheets open.
Yeah. I'm going to stare directly into this closet's eye and I'm still doing the RGB color rotation because detect magic. I'm going to cast Mind Sliver at it, and it needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
An intelligence saving throw.
This thing's about your size, actually.
We're technically both small, so it's just like,
No, this is tiny.
oh, tiny?
Yeah. Closets are tiny.
Closets are tiny. In the box. What is your spell save DC?
15.
It rolled an 11.
Cool. So it's going to take 6 damage.
Okay. It cringes and shrieks in your hands.
Just keep staring. Is it still alive?
Yes.
Okay,
Barely.
so gets a -4 on intelligence saving throws next turn.
Okay. Sabachthani, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 15.
Okay, you hear this scream from the other room, followed by a yelp of pain from Wuya, I imagine.
Is it yelling in an intelligible language, like infernal or something, because it's a demon, or is it just screaming?
Shriek. It's mostly just a shriek, but there is a word. What languages do you speak?
I speak Elvish, Infernal, and Abyssal.
Okay, you hear it say in abyssal, "Tai!"
Oh, that doesn't seem correct. If nothing has jumped out of my door to stop me from doing this, I'm just gonna close that door and I'm gonna turn around and go check
Doesn't
on the
even look in.
child. Oh, that's not right. And I will just spin around and go to the door and take a peek inside.
All right, roll me initiative, please.
Okay.
Just staring at it.
That's going to be a 12.
Okay. The baby disagrees with this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, baby wants to fight the closet and will win.
The baby is the closet.
Probably.
I mean, where I come from, yes.
Accurate. The closet looks back at you, Wuya, and screams again. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I got a +5 on this. So 22.
Okay, yeah, no, you
You have +5
succeed.
on wisdom? Not int? Okay.
Oh, +7 on int.
Jesus Christ.
He rolled it.
Yeah.
It shrieks at you, and you think it's trying to scare you. This thing is ridiculous. Like it's a little winged screaming thing in your hands. This isn't scary. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
And it is your turn.
Okay. I believe I rolled an 11, right? Or
Did you?
I don't remember. Who knows?
I will go ahead and let Sabachthani go next if you would like.
If you would like, you may.
Is anybody in the chat remember?
DM's discretion.
Kill steal.
I wrote it down wrong, so go ahead,
Oh.
Sabachthani.
I'm just gonna look at this entire situation that is occurring, and just sort of be like, oh no, this is absolutely unacceptable, and you should know better at the Quasit. And I would like the Quasit to fail a Wisdom saving throw, please.
I will see what we can do.
Yeah.
That's an 18.
It will pass.
The -4 was on intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, and it's going to look back at you and giggle and say, bleeding out of its mouth in Abyssal, I recognize you.
I will reply in Abyssal, then you should know better.
You're in an odd place.
So are you. I will use my movement to like walk in through this.
He's like, I'm right here, guys.
Just when he comes in, just like snarling this horrifying sounding language. Yeah.
Wuya, it's your turn.
Just going to squeeze a little bit more in the hands and stare even harder, and I will ask it to do another intelligence saving throw.
And that is a -4 on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, even without that, yeah, no. I rolled a base 13, and it has a natural -2.
Yes.
So it's 7 wisdom skill.
3 damage.
And as you're squeezing and staring at this thing, it flicks its tongue out at you before disappearing in a puff of smoke and sulfur. You know that when you kill a creature from the 9 hells, it disappears.
Look over at Sabachthani with a slash mark across my face, dripping blood.
Oh, sugar, that's no. And Sabachthani is just gonna reach over and like she's like reach by pull out a very, very fancy handkerchief and like sort of wipe the blood off. And as I do that, I will cast a healing word on you for 5 HP.
Oh man, I went from half health up to full.
You're welcome.
Wizards are squishy.
Thank you, Mrs. Moreover. I thought it was gonna be a cute toad like the
Well,
the
you just
cat
gotta
up
be
there.
a little bit more discreet about approaching. And even if it was just an animal, it might have slashed at you.
Well,
They're not all as nice as your sweet little bird there.
feed it a bit of bacon. Watches as the bacon falls out onto my
Just fully
shoulder.
like eyes tracing, like, all right. And then I would like to just glance around this room that I am now in.
Sure thing.
Oh yeah, that circle.
And as we're coming out of combat, we have 500 bits from Tamagatora to, quote, the least trustworthy party member. Anyone want to take a vote? Because I have no opinion on
I
that.
think that's everyone, y'all.
I trust you all implicitly.
I think the rogue is the most trustworthy.
Well, I mean, I feel like chat needs to weigh in on this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is it the child or the demon lady
Someone
or
create a
the
Twitch
other
poll.
child wizard?
There you go. So I'll just put that
Yeah.
right there until we determine who exactly is the least trustworthy. Nah, y'all can have it.
Give it
Chuck it there.
Decide
What is the hashtag? Don't trust the child.
Yeah.
An accurate hashtag. So yes, you see this dark stone-walled room with the rune circle in the center and the empty book stand on the other side, with bronze braziers at the other cardinal directions.
And now that I am in this room, can I tell that this room is where I was getting that chemical scent from, or does that appear to have been? Have I noticed that also in the hallways and elsewhere as well?
Aside from the sulfur that you smelled from the closet disappearing, this room doesn't smell particularly chemically.
Okay, great.
I will tell you that when you opened the door to the other room, you caught like the preserving fluid.
Oh, like formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you caught a little bit of formaldehyde without actually looking in
Right.
before
I just didn't
closing
get
the
that
door.
far before.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Just checking.
Sure.
All right.
So with my RGB lights eyes, when I look at the ground, you said there was some. Does it have magic still in it, or?
Yes, this is a permanent summoning circle.
Can I get a sense, also with the closet there, what it summons?
Demons, perhaps?
Do I
Closets?
feel at
Little
home in
baby
this circle? Am I just really comfortable
I suddenly
in this
appear
room
in
for
there.
some reason?
Well, the interesting thing about this, as you're looking at it, how familiar are you with summoning circles?
Not much. I'm an 8-year-old kid.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, probably pretty then.
21.
Okay. Looking at this is you've read about summoning circles and things a lot of that nature. This is an odd one because it looks like it can be turned to different purposes. There are different runes that it's kind of like one of those turntables that you use in the theater to move things around. You can shift the runes
Put on Les
into
Mis.
different positions. Yes.
Turning,
Ah.
turning.
So we can summon revolutionaries. That's an odd choice, but all right.
So, like, I could shift the ground, or is it like the rune itself?
You can shift the ground itself. There's a turntable that is set on top of what looks like a full circle of runes, but only a few are revealed at the moment. But you can see them radiating through the floor with your magical vision.
Oh, so you can like reset the different configurations.
Exactly. So the one that is most recent is from the Nine Hells because there's a closet in there. But looking at it, you're pretty sure that you could arrange this to summon almost anything you wanted.
For curiosity's sake, I will look to see if I can create a configuration that touches... I don't know what realm it would technically be. Sure, Shadowfell.
What are you looking to Okay. You rolled very well on that Arcana check. So it takes you a little while because people don't like the Shadowfell. People don't touch the Shadowfell if they don't absolutely have to. But you are able to arrange it in a way that you think you could summon something from the Shadowfell. Whether or not you want to, Mr. 8 hit point wizard, is entirely up to you.
But like, as I'm looking over this, could someone of my level use this, or is this you would have to be of a certain level to?
So the magic is not in. You would need to know the summoning spells.
Okay.
And looking at the bookstand, you can see trace residue of a very magical book.
Put it in my backpack.
Oh no, it's
There's no
gone.
book there.
Oh no, there was
The residue of.
residue. Okay.
Yeah, it's
That
not
perfume
there.
Waft of having been there.
Yeah.
And only because you rolled very well on your Arcana check.
I smell Octoroon.
All right, so we're gonna leave you two down there for a moment and come back up top and see what everyone else is up to. Go ahead.
Odila would have moved to the library.
Okay.
So she's trying to do the same thing. Look for spines that have like a standalone embossed letter. Mm-hmm. And if she notes any, she'll write them down.
Okay. What is your passive perception, my dear?
16.
Okay. So, walking into the library, tall shelves filled with books line the walls of this room. Shocking, in a library. 2 more shelves run through the middle of the room with a 10-foot wide aisle between them. Several stacks of books are piled high throughout the room. There are small reading desks with cozy scarlet chairs in the corners.
So seeing how many books she might call to, Dewey, Les,
Yes.
perhaps we might divide and conquer here. You see this book, and she would of course like have brought that book with her. You see this little eye embossed here. We're looking for other books that have a letter embossed all by itself in a similar fashion.
Imbecile. Isthmus.
Well, unfortunately, our word may not start with an I. We need all of the letters, and then we'll just see what combination pops up.
Inconceivable.
Okay, you can also start.
I don't think that means what you think it does.
So we're looking for embossed letters.
Yes.
Okay.
How about you take that row, you take that row, you take that.
Is that book magical?
The
With the detect magic?
It is exactly the same as the book that was out in the study area in that it is not magical itself, but it has magical properties in it.
So of the books that I've pilfered that have that same thing, I'm gonna look for a similar raised letter.
Okay. So, Lester, you are walking down the center aisle of all of the books. I imagine you're mildly,
None of these have pictures.
yes, discombobulated in the presence of so much knowledge. And I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. That. Yay, cabbage. That's a 19.
Nice. All right, so all of you hear the rustling and shifting of books. It's a very leathery, papery kind of sound. And then something slams against one of the shelves that Lester is between, knocking it over. Fortunately, he heard the rustling sound, was already looking around, and then looked up as it was starting to tip and darted forward out of the way.
This is why I don't go in libraries.
Delicia's gonna go to whatever end she saw him pop out. You didn't actually need to touch any of the books. You just need to look and find the embossed letter.
No, they were attempting to touch me.
They.
The shelves there just crushed over here.
Dewey, what is your passive perception?
That is a good question.
I need note cards.
Passive perception, 14.
Okay, you were coming around the corner of the bookshelf that fell over, and you saw a shift of a stack of books moving and hitting the shelf.
Oh, the books are out to get us.
I have said it from day one.
And as you look at it, it looks back at you and then comes charging at you. You three roll initiative.
Okay.
This wouldn't happen in the kitchen.
Down below, I have the oddest sensation that Lester's in some sort of trouble.
I think he always is, right?
You're
18.
a very observant man.
Boy.
Odila got 15.
Okay.
Faster than the
Do we have
19.
19?
Survive, so.
show off.
It's the only good roll so far.
And before we dive into combat, we're gonna take a break because I need note cards. Damn it!
So during break, hold on.
Giving away.
Hold on.
Hold that thought.
Keyword
We got a dice bag.
Hashtag.
Here, do some ASMR.
shouse.
And we're giving away a set of Birds of Paradise.
Do some ASMR. And we're gonna be giving away a set of Birds of Paradise.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She should do all this.
So hashtag chaos into the chat.
Hashtag chaos. To enter the
Bomb
giveaway.
Clancy is not eligible
Reign of
point that
Terror.
out.
And until August.
Until August. Neither is anyone else that won in August.
Reign of
Or
Terror
in July.
delayed.
All right.
Okay.
So yes, we are going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back as soon as it takes 6 people to use one bathroom.
One bathroom.
6 people.
Welcome back, everyone. We were discussing the fact that Dewey is going into combat with no spell slots because he used all of his 2 spell slots outside of the room.
Unless everyone agrees,
up to
but
you.
we'll wait on that.
Do you wanna save that until we see how injured everybody gets? Because I might need that for you. Just putting it
There you
out
go.
there.
I have cantrips.
You do, and I would like all of your minis, please. Dewey, Lester, and Odilla.
Cantrips and can't fall.
I'm using Renair Never Remember as many.
Never ever.
Also, I am going to roll this giveaway right now.
Do it.
Last
I get it,
chance.
because it's dice.
Oh, I hate you.
Get out.
Bye.
We'll have a different. Actually, the baby's gonna play the 8-year-old boy.
What did?
You can't come back till you apologize.
Mr. Moreover, I'm sorry.
Alrighty, ready. And
Is this now the new shtick that at least once per episode somebody has to do a full lap around the table? 2 for 2.
I'm.
You're next.
I did a semicircle.
Yeah, you got most of the lap.
So we have to do numbers of laps. That is the episode number.
Wow. Okay.
Just wait for that cracking Quests and Chaos Duck Duck Goose game.
I was about to say, if we're doing number of laps per episode, Chad is like, great, next week we'll be on the level 20 adventure. And we're doing...
I guess. Cardio.
All right. So do we have the?
We do.
Bomb Clancy,
Tamaranth has won
Amaranth.
the
Congratulations.
maroon dice bag, the fantastic Birds of Paradise,
Those are cool.
and the other dice that are in there as well.
Wait, I want to see
They're
the other dice.
surprised.
The functional dice.
They're caramel colored.
Yeah,
they're
Brown.
Those are lovely.
yeah, they're great.
I think they're fine. Enjoy those.
Whoa! For those of you wearing your 3D glasses.
Yeah. You gotta.
James Cameron would like to talk to you about Avatar 2.
I'd like to talk to him about
Oh
Avatar.
my God, Amy talked to him about. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah,
Name dropper.
right.
she had not nice things
You guys
to
are just
say.
putting
so.
off your inevitable demise, as I can tell.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
I mean, why are those bookcases not on the wall is the real question.
Because it's a very small space, and the minis are enormous for the
Oh,
space.
so it's like double.
Yeah, so
Double-
basically,
okay.
he walked down the center here, and is now
Okay,
on
I
this
got
side.
it. I thought though, like they came off the walls and it was like gonna squish him.
Nope, there's the ones on the walls, and then there's like a center aisle down 2 more.
One of them is knocked over, or should be.
Yes, I just can't make it balance.
Got it.
But yes,
But
that
we can't go through that way.
correct. That passageway is effectively blocked off. All right, so as you can see, I have my note card set up because I'm weird in some ways. So, Dewey, you are up first. You rolled an 18, my man.
This
I
thing's
like how
coming
the
at
blank
me.
for the monster.
Let's see. It's
What
first
is
level
it?
spell, first level spell, first level spell. Here we go. Ray of Frost.
Okay. That is a ranged spell attack, correct?
Is it next to me?
Yes,
Wow.
because it stepped at you. It went.
You're gonna step to Dewey.
Use your mini sword.
You can draw a weapon as part of the attack action.
I'll just attack it with disadvantage. That
Do it.
sounds much better idea.
Do it to it, buddy.
That is it's a nat 20, but I don't get that. But it is a dirty 21.
All right,
Which
that
is-
hits.
There have been a lot of natural 20s rolled tonight, and I'm getting worried.
You'll never see a nat 20 again.
I will not.
7 points of damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Excellent. Well done. So yeah, you shoot off this ray of frost, and it explodes across this stack of books, and you can see ice like gathering on the spines and the pages as it kind of shivers back from you. Just Lester, it is your turn.
Well, you know, I read a bunch of D&D blogs that said if you're a warlock, you cast Eldritch Blast.
You are correct. That is the thing.
Which blog are you reading that says that?
It's totally Bomb Clancy's blog.
So I think that is a ranged. Is that right? +6, and I can't see that.
That looks like a
Well, that's a 1.
Ah!
Oh God.
So yes, your Eldritch Blast flies very wide and hits up in the corner.
So here's what happens. Actually, I turn around, I say, "Well, don't worry, I'll take care of this." Mother, mother, I know you're down there listening.
What happens if we're in an extra dimensional state?
I'm just waiting for you to look at someone and go, "This never happened."
That's exciting.
You know.
We should get some combat music.
Oh, or
It's 10 minutes long.
Okay.
that's a selling point.
Better finish this combat quick.
It's better than 2.5 minutes and constantly looping. All right, so this thing is it's gonna. Wizards, we need to have a conversation about the names of your attacks. This one is called Book Club.
That's it, guys. See you next week. We're done.
Not even I can support that.
Yeah, no. So yes, it is going to attack you, Dewey.
Sure, it can try.
I suspect 16 is going to hit.
Yes, it will.
See ya, Dewey.
You get the paper cut of all paper
I'm
cuts.
so glad the 2 doctors decided to go off together.
I hear 2 dice being rolled. That will take out probably all your health.
Not only that, it
You have
has limit on the
you have
paper cut.
excellent hearing. So that is 4 points of damage.
Okay.
All right.
Crappy dice.
2 crappy dice rolls.
2 d4s, but you know,
Woof.
double 4s on those.
And it's gonna like settle back and snarl at you. Just... Adela, you're up.
So I will at least move 1 square so I can see. Because I assume with all the commotion I know where to look.
Yep.
And she's going to throw she'll take out her dagger and throw it.
All right, make me an attack.
Ooh,
Ooh, that would be a
Oh, that's gonna hit.
25.
an
plus,
ooh
plus
hits.
sneak attack
Because
Dewey's still there.
Yep, because you have an ally within 5
The
feet.
one thing I get at first level.
That should be a D4 and a D6, right? I'd loan you one of mine, but I have a policy about loaning out dice when I'm on this side of them.
It's valid. Okay, 8 plus 4. 12.
Nice. So yeah, you see this thing just like it is now a little bit. In as much as you could understand the emotions of a stack of books, a bunch of paper and leather, it looks frightened, maybe. Dewey, your turn.
Oh, God. I'm going to disengage
Okay.
and try and get behind the rogue, if that's at all. I know that she's against the wall. But I'm still like,
You can pass through a friendly's space.
so I can get like behind the
Well,
yeah.
1, 2, over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just kind of,
Getting rid of my sneak attack ability.
Now I want this thing to just like vomit books. Just-
and then I go, Rusty, help Odilla. And Rusty will run up and offer the help action.
All right. Sure, that works.
Oh, I needed to get
sorry.
a fox. Oops.
Yeah, you need to get a fox. What's wrong with you? So yeah, he'll scamper over here. Come up on his hind legs and go. "Eh."
Yeah. So now you can get your
Nice.
sneak attack.
Nice. Thanks, Rusty.
Lester, it's your turn.
No one can see me, right? Except the fox, maybe.
The fox can see you, and in as much as books can be said to see, it can
All right.
see you.
I give the fox an apologetic look. I don't like for anyone else to see this. And then I vomit just a flock of insects
Excellent.
that shoot all
Like in
over.
the Mummy.
That just like inundate the books. This is, I love this spell.
And you hear Dewey, oh my god.
This is infestation, and that thing needs to make a con saving throw.
A con saving throw. Its best stat.
Those are hardy
Oh,
books.
honey. I rolled a nat 1 on that one.
Well, there you go. All right, so I do a d6 poison damage, and so I do 3 points, and it is going to move 5 feet in a random direction as these bugs bother it.
Okay. So this swarm of insects lights around it and seems to be nipping and picking at it, and it does not seem to be causing it any damage.
There you go.
But it does move. Let's see. Random direction. D4.
We need that Games Workshop arrow die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
cool.
I emptied it out from my tin.
It's going to move over in this direction.
Is that 5 feet away from Rusty?
No, it is still within the threat space of
Okay.
Rusty.
Rusty, do an opportunity attack.
It's gonna like shake off the flies, and like the books shift and then open up a little bit. Yes. And it is going to make a dash at the rogue directly in front of it. And make an attack
And-
with a book club. Really? That is a 10 to hit.
It's not hit.
All right. Well then, it comes at you and like it makes a club that look out of book. Maybe it could be said to be like a swinging arm from like a slime or something like that, and it swings wide and slams against the floor.
Okay. Is it still in the same square? Did it move?
It has moved toward you, and
Rusty is for sure going to take a claw attack at it.
take that attack of opportunity.
That's 8.
That's gonna miss. Oh, poor Rusty. And Odella, it is your turn.
Is my dagger still in?
Yes, it is. It is jammed into the
Okay.
front of one of the books.
She is going to take her other dagger and try to slam it in, and hopefully at the same time use her other hand to like at least grab the handle of the
Okay.
other one.
Nice.
Make me an attack roll. And I will point out that Dewey is within 5 feet of it.
I'm gonna use a luck point.
We've got.
Okay.
You got.
No. I mean, what else am I gonna use? Different dice.
If you don't have
That's 20! This is a good dice.
That is very good.
And is Dewey with him this little 5
Yep.
feet? Oh, yes. Okay.
Right, you had the lucky feed. Now I'm just like, and if you don't have your own inspiration, store-bought is fine.
Okay. 8. Oh, so 8 double, 16 plus 4, 20.
Describe how you destroy this thing.
She is gonna plunge it in, also grab the other handle, and then just tear it down, like backwards to retrieve her daggers, essentially.
Nice. And as you do so, someone still has detect magica, if I remember correctly.
If it hasn't been 10 minutes.
It has not been 10 minutes
The
at the
music's
moment.
still going.
As you rip out these daggers, you see like the strands of magic that are holding this thing together fall apart, and the books just collapse all over the floor. That book that you stabbed into is quite foxed isn't the right word. Badgered, perhaps. But all of the other books are still there on the floor.
Okay. She'll
This
kind
is
of
why
like
I don't go to libraries.
kick around, just make sure.
Yeah, and you kick it around, and yeah, the books are completely inert now.
Can I write the bookshelf?
Make me a strength check.
No.
I'll run. If I see that, I'll run over and help.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking that he might be underneath it.
No.
He's giving you the help action.
Yep.
What does that do?
You roll
get
advantage.
Advantage.
Time to roll the other
That was a
version of
6.
paradise. There we go. That's an 18.
You are able to right the bookshelf. There is a mess of books on the floor between the two shelves, but it is now open for you to be able to look through.
So did that Muldoon character or whatever, did he Did he fight these things? I don't get it.
Far more physical
How are
activity
you
than I was.
holding up there, Dewey?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like halfway to death, but I'm okay.
Do you need to? Oh, I guess I wouldn't actually know that either of you have healing abilities. Yet.
My wife can minister to you later. It's not what it sounds like.
I mean, just because I don't know who Mistra is doesn't mean.
Who's Mistra?
Okay.
Okay, well, why don't we continue our task and just be careful of
Books.
books. And Odila will continue searching the near shelf and just like poke each book.
Pre-stabbing them.
Yeah, she has her daggers out and she's just like every book just to make sure.
Stabbing her way
That's
down.
amazing.
I could get a torch.
I no.
Yeah. Wait, are the insects gone?
The insects are gone.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, but they're like every once in a while another one will just like crawl back into the cracks on his
This
neck.
really is like the mummy.
Wonderful.
No, mother.
Everyone who would like to can make me an investigation check, please.
Yes.
I get my eye would stop.
Woo!
Please.
Natural 20
Ooh, nice.
for
I know.
I am
24.
so worried.
Awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
22.
22, 22,
24.
and 24. Okay.
Wow.
So
We're very alert.
Yeah.
Solve the puzzle, guys.
So, with your combined efforts, you all are looking through all of the bookshelves, and you do find a book that is identical to the one that Odila has.
So it was an eye.
Boys of extra dimensional.
Yes, that one.
places.
And
Oh,
th-
so it's the same book,
it's the same book.
and it has an embossed letter.
It does. It has the letter R.
Okay.
Iridescent.
So
I mean, well, we don't know what order.
I'm gonna
Rice.
guess. Well, this helps us. It seems that we may not need to find just any book with embossed letters, but this
Particular.
particular.
Is there a word we can think of that's near scepter?
Wand.
That has neither an eye or
You
an
did
eye.
not ask if it had an R or an I in it.
And so Adila's gonna. Did we go through? We went through all the books.
You have looked through you have thoroughly searched this library. It's taken you about 20 minutes to go through everything, but you have thoroughly searched
I know,
this
really.
library.
That's how well we rolled.
We're dead in the basement.
Yeah.
And on the reading desk, you find a jeweled letter opener. It looks pretty valuable. You've seen this sort of thing before.
Like a mini sword.
It does look like a mini sword, and I swear I've seen one out there. I swear to you, this is in the book.
She will definitely stash that.
All right. So, returning to the basement. Just toss these
In a
all
room
back,
that looks
you know.
very similar.
I'm just going to remove this. I was not quite fast enough to get the battle map up to the other one. Cool. All right, so downstairs, you guys have investigated.
The summoning room, yeah?
Yes, and that is in fact exactly what it's called in the book.
You're psychic.
The room of summoning.
What would you two like to do?
I am going to just glance down at Roy and say, I do need to go take a look in that other doorway. Perhaps maybe I should go in front just in case.
Oh, sure. What'd you find in there?
Nothing yet. I heard a lot of screaming in here, so I came to check on you first.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was more of the
No, I'm aware, but I was
Then I
worried
squished
that
it.
it might be you next. Although
Oh.
clearly you have it very well handled for being such a young boy in a library. I'm gonna go check that other door.
Okay, I'm gonna follow.
Right, and I'm going to just go over and I'm gonna now after that just happened, I am going to very cautiously sort of crack the door open and just pull it slightly open, kind of peek inside first
Okay.
before I just barge in.
When you look inside, smells of alcohol and brine permeate this room, along with formaldehyde. Glass vessels, large and small, stand in rows on the floor and tables, ranging from 1 foot to 6 feet tall. Inside each vessel is the body of a creature floating in clear liquid. 1 4-foot-tall container is missing its lid and has no occupant.
Nothing's gonna go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it appears we might have further company. I'm just not sure if they're in here or somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? I'll open the door,
where
a
Dewey
little
came from.
wide. Can I do some sort of perception, investigation, something to see if I notice, I don't know, wet formaldehyde footprints on the floor or anything?
Give me a perception check for that.
Survival. I'll take what I can get here. Let's try that in the tray. Nope.
What? I'm just gonna follow this with my head down all the way.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 2 on the die, so for investigation that is a 3.
It's perception, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Then it is a 7.
Wow.
Well, your passive perception is 15, and you
That's
can't roll
correct.
below that, fortunately.
Yes, I had forgotten that we were on perception. Great, so it's a 15.
So, looking around this room, it's creepy. It's creepy in kind of a familiar way.
Okay, great.
It's still creepy.
Yeah.
And looking around, you don't see footprints, nothing quite so obvious. But you do, in poking around the jar that is open and has no lid, you find the lid chucked like a frisbee off into a corner.
Well, that's unsettling.
Yeah, it probably crawled out.
That would be my assumption. Although if anything survived being in one of these, that I'm almost more concerned about that particular possibility.
True.
And poking around, you step inside the room and close the door a little bit, and you see something that looks maybe an octopus, something with like that sucker look.
Ah, yeah.
Where there's round marks around the doorknob, as if something was poking at it and then got the knob.
Oh. Well, maybe that's gonna be company we're gonna find somewhere else then.
Yeah. What other kind of things are in the tubes?
Oh, all sorts of things. Right? Are you walking around looking at all of them?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there is a cockatrice, a flumph, a giant fire beetle, a small grell, a myconid sprout, a pseudo-dragon, 4 severed hands that are in the same jar, and a slad tadpole.
Oh.
No.
Player James is like, no.
We just look at each other like, so we're gonna leave, yeah? Yeah, we're just gonna go.
And as you get in front of the tadpole's the jar, it bites at the glass.
Oh, no.
No. Anything aside from the hands? Anything human in here?
No, nothing human or humanoid in here.
And aside from the containers, is there any other accoutrement within the room?
It is. You would call this a preserving room. So there are the jars that are everywhere, of course, but there's also a long table along one wall that some of the jars are sitting on, and what could be a workspace there in the center.
Any notes?
No.
Okay.
She's like, no, and you're like, let's just look on the table.
Go for it. If you want to do an investigation
Sure.
check, you are welcome to.
Can I assist?
The answer is going to remain the same.
Oh.
They're still in there? Great.
No, there's no paper in this
Okay.
room.
Okay.
You get the impression that this is a wet work room where you wouldn't want to actually keep notes.
Well, this is unpleasant. Perhaps we should go back to that other door.
Mm-hmm. Looking up at the ceiling, nothing on the ceiling.
Give me a perception check.
15 plus 3, 18.
Okay, you are looking up and scanning the rafters of this room. The construction's a little bit odd because it's not a natural building. It doesn't need to follow the usual laws. But you're pretty confident scanning all of the corners that there's nothing hiding up there.
Okay. At that point, bloop, 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 bloop. 4 dancing lights just start to circle around Wuya.
Other door?
Mm-hmm.
I will head back out of this hallway to, I guess, the foot of the stairs and turn down that other corridor to the other door.
All right.
Gonna, again, do the cautious, like, listen a little bit, sniff a little bit, and I'll try.
All right. So sniffing, you immediately realize, is the worst idea. This is where all that astringent chemical smell is coming from. Clears your sinuses out real good.
Just like going to the Brimstone Festival in the summer.
What's it like? Is there music?
Some people might call it that.
Well, that's fun. I like music.
I like that clarification. Long wooden tables stretch across the room, laden with vials, beakers, and flasks holding various liquids and powders. Books are stacked between the glassware and chemicals. Yellowed paper charts and blackboards full of complex formulas cover the walls.
Excuse me, Mr. Octopus. Are you in here?
I'm gonna pull out a notebook and start copying down some of the formulas as I kind of check out the formulas of the books to see. I'm assuming that there's probably alchemy stuff in here, but I want to see if there's anything else or anything more specific, especially if it pertains to either of my relevant areas of interest.
Okay.
Yeah, I will probably join in on that.
All right. Could both of you make me an intelligence check?
Straight intelligence?
Straight intelligence.
18.
I was gonna say, that'd be a great time for me to get a nat 20. That's a 19.
All right, so the two of you checking over the formulas and comparing notes with each other, you realize that this is her research room. And the main goal of the research was to transmute various materials into gold.
Oh.
And there are scorch marks everywhere. There are scorch marks and acid burns. You get the impression that some things failed rather explosively. There are also 4 clay figures sitting on a table in the middle of the room. They range from a rudimentary, barely humanoid shape to a small winged body, so lifelike. It looks like it's almost just asleep. Would anyone care to make me an Arcana check?
Terracotta Warriors.
I am not Ezra. I'm not stealing that.
18.
All right. So, looking at these things very carefully, you can tell that these are various attempts at making a homunculus.
Mm-hmm. Would I know the general ingredients for homunculus?
With that Arcana check, yes.
Is there any ruby dust around?
You read the book.
Well, poking around, you do find 50 GP of alchemical materials.
Oh. I will.
Now, how much of that is ruby dust, we can discuss later.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Also poking around, because Doctor, this is in your area of interest. You find a little chest on one of the tables that you flip open. There are 2 red potions inside.
Oh.
And you being of a particular bent, you recognize these as healing potions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will pop the cork and sniff and just be like, oh, these might come in very handy.
Ooh, what are they?
Healing potions.
Mmm.
Maybe you should carry one. I will hand one to Booyah, and I will pocket the other one.
And the final thing that you find propped up against a large beaker is another book that looks exactly like the one that was out in the room.
I'll pick it up and be like, didn't I already have this one? Take a look at it. Do I find a letter on the spine?
Embossed on the spine is the letter B.
Oh, that didn't match. She had a letter I. I wonder if this means something. Should take this upstairs and see.
B-I. Ooh. B-I.
Yes. B.
Books of intelligence.
So, should we head back upstairs?
Sure.
Were there any other doors?
Yeah, any other doors?
You have explored every door that you have found down here.
Well, Mr. Octopus isn't here.
Great, then we should probably go make sure he hasn't found our companions upstairs. Lester does
we
not do
opened
well
the
with
door.
seafood. We closed it behind us. I think it opened the door first. Sugar.
Well, no, it opened that door, but then what if it was hiding and then it went up and out through our door?
We should go upstairs.
Okay.
And upstairs, what are the three of you doing?
I think we're finishing up the library.
Yeah.
All right.
That took some time.
It did take some time, but it took about the same amount of time that it took them searching that lab.
Could I interest either of you in pie?
Just trying to find any other room that has.
There's a
books.
stairway up in the foyer.
Okay. So, do we run into them?
Yes, as you are passing the study door, heading toward the stairs, heading toward the kitchen. Where are we going?
Little column A, little column B.
So, I mean, I think I would have come to the foyer to regroup with
Yeah.
these three.
So so what do we have so far? We've got I and we've got R.
Yes.
Is that it?
Found a bee for you. Coming up the stairs with the book.
Oh, birchwood.
Rib.
Bird.
Bird.
Birds.
Oh, I got a bird.
Is this what I looked like when I was doing this?
Brimstone. You like brimstone.
I do like brimstone. Do we think this has anything to do with scepters, though?
I'm gonna go see if they can make a mint julep.
Oh, that'd be lovely, darling. I'll come with you. I will give Odella the book.
Bridge.
Oh, honey, are you okay? You look a little under the weather.
Oh, I got attacked by a book.
Oh, sweetheart, here, and I will hand Dewey the other potion.
Oh.
Found those downstairs. Don't worry, they're perfectly safe. Don't go down in the basement. Can we close that door? We should close that door.
What did you find down there?
Lots of really terrible things, some of which might be coming after us. So we should
I don't know if I want to waste this now, but
just hang on to it.
but if I need it, it's too late.
I can hold on to it for you.
I'll hold on to it, but
Okay.
Just keep it near
Bring
you.
half
That
of
way,
it.
whoever gets to you first can shove it down your throat.
Okay.
Very effective.
yes, perfect. Perfect.
So Adilla will take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cumin, coriander. Do you have any gin?
So as you, is everyone going into the kitchen?
Yes.
I'm feeling a little
I'm-
peckish.
Well, since the whole group, after what we ran into, she's less inclined to split up, so she'll begrudgingly go into the kitchen.
So what did you find up here while we were exploring all kinds
Well,
of eldritch horrors downstairs?
We also found a book with an R, and also a book that was living and
Living books.
attacking.
It was
Oh
like
no!
yeah, it was like mimicking a book.
Is that what happened to poor Dewey?
Yes.
Reading can be very dangerous. I'm starting to
Always
understand
got
why
it.
Lester takes naps.
Those paper cuts are
You know,
very
yeah.
dangerous.
There isn't lemon in a mint julep, is there?
No.
Because these
No.
paper cuts really hurt with lemon.
So as all of you walk into the kitchen, you've already seen this, Lester, so it doesn't come as a surprise
You
to
don't
you.
pour the drink on your head.
You've already seen this, Lester, so it doesn't come as a surprise to you. But all the rest of you watch as two homunculi comes flying up, land on the table, like, hi! Oh my goodness, guests! We have guests! And they look at each other like this is the best day of these little creatures' lives. How can we be of help? Cleaning,
Round 'em-
mending, food,
Round of mint juleps.
mint juleps. You got it, sir.
Oh, non-alcoholic for the children, please.
That's that one.
And the homunculi just sort of look at each other, look at you, go, okay, and fly off.
So should we?
Do you sing?
No?
Do you know
course.
cheesecake?
Yes?
You want some music?
Cheesecake for later.
Well, it looks like they've really
a
been
Quest and
waiting
Chaos
to
game now.
help people. You almost want to sing or something.
No.
What? What's wrong
We're
with
in
you?
this room anyways. Odilla's gonna look around, see if she can find another book.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so
will.
the aroma of cooking permeates this kitchen. A large iron stove takes up one wall, and the rest of the room is filled with large tables and racks lined with hanging pots, pans, and cooking utensils. Everything is sparkling clean. And as you're looking around, Odilla, in one corner you see a bunch of bowls with embossed cat faces on them.
She's gonna poke it with her tongue.
Somewhere the cat's like. "Rah."
Yeah, no, the bowl does not react, but as you're like crouching looking at it, the black cat that you found in the study comes trotting up, head up, just like, Charlie!
She's got a soft spot for cat, so she's gonna see if the cat food is around.
Looking around, where would you like to look for it?
Well, if it's nearby the bowls first.
Yeah, there's a shelf that's significantly above cat reach in a sealed container.
She'll fill up the bowl.
Okay.
Right now.
So Charlie squirms in Wuya's grip.
They'll make you better food.
This is for the feline, not myself.
And
Here you go, Charlie. Eat. Eat.
he plants all claws into your arm and just pushes like a warning.
Honey, remember what I told you about being careful with animals because sometimes they can be aggressive? Maybe let him eat first and then see if he wants to cuddle.
It won't.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is how we deal with all the little imps back home. You feed them first and get them docile and sleepy, then they curl right up on your shoulder.
Eat.
So Charlie like flicks his tail against your nose and then sticks his face directly into the bowl. And as he's eating, a ginger cat comes running through the door at full speed.
Oh God, there's another one.
She'll shrug and fill up another bowl.
And the cat plants its face into that one and is very happily eating.
Your name is Clementine.
Oh.
Charlie and Clementine. Okay.
You can speak to cats?
Yes.
I see.
You
Well, we
can
all
speak to cats.
Cats.
You're-
So if there are no more cats popping out,
For the moment, it seems like it's just the two of them.
she'll continue just scanning the shelves, opening drawers, looking for a book, but also if anything interesting pops
Nice.
up.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It looks like a well-appointed kitchen. On the north side of the kitchen, there's a door that you have no idea where it goes. It's currently closed.
Are there any cookbooks or anything like
Yeah.
that where there would be a
Right.
hidden joy of extra dimensional space?
There is a shelf that is next to the stove that has a small collection of cookbooks. They look like they have been very well read and very well worn. Cumin and Coriander take their jobs very seriously.
Gotcha. I'd like to look through them.
Sure.
Just to see if there's another one of the books.
All right. So poking through them, there's only like 7 or 8, so it's not going to make you roll an investigation check. There is no book like the ones that you have found previously. Anyone who would like to can make me an Arcana check.
I'd like to. It's just going
Apparently, I just got my mint julep. Oh.
13.
18.
6.
Okay. Wuya, you know 2 important, interesting things about homunculi. A mage can only make one at a time, and they die when their master does.
And they drastically overserve the mint juleps.
Darling, are you complaining about a heavy pole? That's not like you at all. What happened to that library?
A lot of books.
I'm so sorry, honey. I promise we'll find something else to occupy you later.
Why did you go to Candlekeep if you hate books?
Oh, he's just with me, sweetie.
Oh, okay.
I go wherever this visage.
Aha, okay, right.
Is there anything else that we can make for you? Are you hungry? Thirsty?
What is through this door? I'm just curious.
The pantry.
Have you seen any other copies of this book? The Joy of Extra-Dimensional Spaces?
Oh, okay, we're not allowed out of the kitchen. We mostly stay in here, but we were told not to touch any books like that. There are more. Yeah, wait, how many do you have?
We have 3.
3.
There's a few more.
I see.
How many?
And they lean their little heads together, or whispering back and forth,
You
counting
can hold
up.
up fingers.
3, maybe? 4.
We're gonna be
7-letter word with B-R-I. Where's Vistandia?
Don't know. Haven't seen her in a long time.
Who
Who's
made
your
you?
parents?
Vistandia. And, Freyot.
Friot?
Freyot. Freyot.
Is this a name that we've heard before?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay.
Well, that means that Vistandia is very much among the living.
Perhaps in another dimension. Stuck because she doesn't remember her password.
You know, they have these wonderful devices. It's almost like a sending stone, but you can program all of your passwords into them, and then you just have the one device that unlocks everything for you.
I just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for everything.
Yes, honey, that's why your email keeps getting hacked.
Or you can just write it down or remember it.
Odilla's gonna just like slowly open the door of the pantry and just shut the door open. Creak it open.
Yeah, the pantry looks very well stocked. There are dry goods on shelves leading all the way up to the ceiling. There's cured meats. There are vegetables, flour, anything that you can think of that would be necessary to feed a well-off household.
Okay. Yeah, she's not gonna do like a deep investigation. Just kind of glance around to see if anything sticks out. But if it's just food, she won't bother going in.
Yeah, from your cursory glance, it appears to just be food.
Gentlemen, we're gonna go upstairs, but wouldn't be a bad idea to have one of those pies ready for when we come back.
Pie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Where do you get the ingredients for this stuff?
Vistandia brought him in.
When's the last time you saw her?
Time's weird.
That is an understatement. Freya, when was the last time you saw them?
We saw him the last time we saw Vistandia.
Oh, they were together.
Uh-huh.
Are they husband and wife?
Don't think so. But they hang out together a lot.
Are you pointing to them
Stunning
because we
buddies.
already established that they are?
We are definitely married.
Well,
There's a great deal of paperwork to prove it.
I'm just trying to illustrate. It's like these two are married, so are they like married or are they like just together?
Do they yell at each other a lot and kind of snip at each
Did
other?
they commit a warding bond, perhaps?
They do both have pretty silvery rings.
Yeah, a warding bond, of course.
Do they ever like to take shape of a feline, of a black and orange coloring?
We know what wizards can do, and they don't do that.
You did detect magic on the cast. One of you.
It was still a good question.
Yes.
Yeah.
This entire place is sketch.
Well, shall we go upstairs?
Yes.
Upstairs. Planetarium's upstairs.
What else can we expect upstairs?
Space monsters, probably.
Well, that is a good point. We're not entirely sure what escaped from that jar downstairs, but it did have suckers.
Wait, I did not hear about this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying not to startle anyone. There was a preservation room, and one of the preserves has absconded.
So a bottle of jam with suckers is running around this place?
You've met my third cousin, you know, with all the tentacles,
I
something
have.
like that, I assume. But about yay big?
Well, I hope
You have a lot of cousins.
I have so many cousins.
I hope this one is a little less of a hugger.
I hope it likes massages.
No one does.
I love that you said that with that shirt on.
I realized I was like walking around in public with this earlier. It's like, oh.
Perhaps we could go explore upstairs.
Planetarium awaits.
At this point, Odilla is just exploring with one dagger in her hand.
That is completely fair. All right, so you all are heading for the stairs. Mint juleps in hand.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I took one sip of it. I was like, too sweet, and then puts it on the counter. And then
I take his and pour it in mine.
I had some, but she's not going to carry it with her.
That's completely fair.
See, this is why you don't carry weapons. So you can carry a drink.
the most
Careful,
important
your
thing.
glass is kind of full. You don't want to spill any.
I know
Especially
my way
with
around
that,
a
it's
glass.
mauve.
It is? Well, that is very. You have a very fine sense of color.
Oh no, you said it out loud.
Okay,
I'm gonna
the
follow
stairs.
So as you are walking up the stairs, you see the landing at the top has a suit of armor standing at the top with a long sword point down, like, you know, the traditional suit of armor thing. Let me see.
You want to poke that?
Yeah, I think you should poke. Honestly, I think you should.
Don't worry, those never come to life.
I'm just checking to make sure that the point is correctly set in a block that's preserving the tip, because if it's just on the floor, that's very bad management of your weapon. I'm going to be very judgmental about it.
It is definitely inside of a block.
Excellent.
Sabachthani, Wuya, Dewey, and Odilla, as you're walking up the stairs, sorry Lester, you notice that above you there seems to be some light coming through a broken floorboard up above.
There's another floor up there. Aren't we going up the stairs right now?
Yeah, you are at the landing on the top of the stairs, so you are now on the second floor.
So we can tell there's a third floor.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling's about 10 feet above you.
Anyone want to lift me up?
No.
Well, perhaps we'll explore the second floor and then we can go to the third floor.
Excuse me, is anyone in there?
There's a lot of silence.
I'm over here
But staring up at it.
in the planetarium. Come see me. Let's go.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Can I do performance instead?
No, because you're trying to hide that it's you doing it.
That's a 1. Over here. I can't not talk like this.
So,
What? There's a... excuse me, Mr. Moreover, there's someone saying they're in the planetarium.
Let
You
us
should
away.
check it out.
Odilla's gonna scan down the hallways to see,
sure.
try to get a lay of the land for this second floor.
So there isn't really much of a hallway here. There's a little bit of one, and off of it is a door to your left and a door to your right. But it's kind of cramped up here, actually, surprisingly so.
You would think with an infinite amount of space that would have spread it out.
How about we try the left door?
I do like to start on the left.
What's in the right door? As they open up the left.
Careful there, Dewey. The last time Ruya and I did that, he got attacked.
She's gonna do like the turn and a push open, but like stay clear of the door.
So much like the corridor that they found downstairs, this leads to a small corridor with 2 doors off of it, one to the right, one directly in front.
That does not seem like an intelligent use of space. I'd like to go to the left.
To the right.
Oh wait, you said ahead.
Then I will go
to
to the straight ahead.
Okay,
Same pattern that I did with Wuya, where I would go to the straight ahead.
All right. Are you going to open them in time with each other?
Oh,
Why don't
I
we
wasn't
open
planning-
one at a time?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was planning on doing one at a time.
Okay. So which door would you like to open first?
The one facing us.
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
Okay. Thank you for translating, because my brain is.
It's hard. There's a lot of doors in this place, weirdly enough. I'll open and you keep your mini sword in hand.
So actually, this door is slightly open.
Oh no! Do I see sucker marks around the knob? Like to check first?
Make me
before I
a
touch it?
perception check.
That's gonna be a 23.
No, there are no sucker marks anywhere
Great.
that you can see.
And I will just gently open the door.
Okay. This is an open and airy bedroom. A canopied bed with rich scarlet curtains occupies one corner. A jug and a wash basin stand on top of a chest of drawers, and a fluffy black cat is napping on a scarlet easy chair. One wall is covered with a large painting of a gold dragon perched heroically on a mountaintop.
Does it look like the same black
Charlie?
cat?
Nope, it's a completely different black cat.
Okay.
Dragons.
Did I hear Charlie?
No, it's
another cat.
Another cat.
Yeah, different cat. Do you want to name this one as well?
I'm gonna name you... Clive.
We're going with C's.
Yeah.
Bestandia, Freya.
As you walk into the room, Clive stretches luxuriously, jumps off the chair, and looks at you very expectantly. Ooh, yeah.
Give him bacon bits.
More of an animal handling check.
Oh,
Wow, I'm very
they
excited.
hate the bacon.
It's
not cats.
Cool. Yeah, I know.
How many voice do you have?
The cat looks at you. It's like it makes that noise that cats make when they are not quite sure about what's going on before darting around you and running out the partially open door.
Okay.
While
I'll
they're-
leave it there for him if he wants it.
While they're all paying attention to that, I walk up to the painting of the gold dragon. I just grab the bottom and just set it on fire.
Okay.
And obviously, I assume we see this eventually.
Eventually.
I mean, I'm Eldritch blasting it, so I'm hoping it's just like, you know.
Eldritch Blast is force though, not
Force
fire.
Yeah.
Well, then I use Witch Bolt.
Lightning will eventually set something on fire. Sure, that works.
I hate these things.
Am I having a stroke?
Oh, whoa! Did you do that?
It'll go out in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Angel, could you please stop destroying everything?
You know I hate these things.
I'm
You know,
aware.
there is no emergency exit until we find the password, so...
She has a point.
The other interesting part about this is that in Candlekeep, nothing could burn.
The books
Books.
couldn't burn.
I mean, they said paper.
Please do recall that I am the only person in this room, to my knowledge, who is resistant to fire, so maybe keep it down a little bit. I would like to look for books.
Before it goes
any
com-
books.
We'll look for books, but also, you know,
Before-
valuable items.
Sure.
And
I'm
before
also
it
going
goes,
to judge any jewelry and clothing I find in here very harshly.
before it goes to flame, I also wanted to see if I recognize the dragon.
Okay.
It's jam.
Oh, hey, Jim.
It's just it's a fairly generic gold dragon. Any
Curtis.
Well, no, see,
Cumberbund.
see names for cats. So for a dragon, it's gonna be Daryl.
Not anymore.
Good.
It's deceased.
Or dead.
So yes, the painting does flame through, and actually looks on the walls a little bit, and you see that there are other pieces of tapestry starting to catch.
Can someone deal
Glorious.
with this? Wizards?
What's going on in there? So I open the other door.
Oh, you've gone into the other door.
Yeah.
Nope, unfortunately, I just can do the exact same thing.
I can freeze it maybe, but
I would like to go to the water basin that you indicated, see if there is water in it, and if there is, I will take it and start extinguishing the fire.
There is water in the jug.
That's when the player rolled a nat 20 on remembering things the DM said 15 to 20 minutes ago.
Which is impressive. It's hard to remember that sort of detail.
Yeah, I will sigh heavily and just be like, oh, Odila, let me know if you find a book. You know what? I think you got this, and I'm gonna give you some bardic inspiration as I go to put out the fire.
All right, so go ahead, and anyone who would like to make me an investigation check around the room who is in there, and we'll come to you in a second, Dewey.
16.
What a grumpy face for a good roll.
You can roll that.
I rolled a 9.
11.
15.
Okay, so you're opening up drawers and looking around and things. There are some pieces. There are very few pieces of jewelry. There's a few, but they're mostly more utilitarian, like a wooden bangle type of thing. You get the impression from looking at this that Fistandia dressed well, but not expensively. And this is borne out when you open up the drawers and are looking through them. You see some very well-made robes in the top drawer, and they look pretty elegant, like the sort of thing that you would see in your hometown with Guild of Mages going to like one of their fancy events type of thing. It is certainly very well made, and then below it are utilitarian tunics, trousers, that sort of thing.
So no books.
There is a book sitting on top of the chest of drawers, and it is one of the books that you have been looking for.
Okay.
And this one has the letter E on it.
We have an E, everyone.
I can recommend you a tailor if you are looking for in the market for some clothes.
I'm in the market for books at the moment.
I have no recommendations in that market.
So we have 3 more books.
All right. Has anyone seen Dewey?
I appreciate playing at a table with other DMs because they know how to throw things. It's very helpful. So, Dewey, you just open the door for the one that you're looking into?
Yeah.
All right.
Straight open.
Straight open.
Possibly go wrong.
Most of this room is taken up by long wooden tables that are covered with glass vessels and books. Cabinets with glass doors line the walls, and they contain all manner of specimens. Just below the ceiling, in the middle of the room, colorful globes circle each other in an intricate dance. They look a little bit like your dancing lights, but more contained. The far wall is almost completely covered by a map of the night sky, with a golden sunburst in the center above a closed door.
Oh, hey. Hello? Is anyone in here?
There's a distinctive lack of answer.
Okay. Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna step inside and be like, okay, I'm gonna go now, and then I close the door behind me.
Okay.
I'm just waiting, listening.
And it remains very quiet on the other side of that door.
I'm gonna open the door back up, step back out, and be like, oh, where did everybody go? Uh-oh. And then I remember where they went, and I go, oh, something's on fire. And
Issues.
And I'm like, oh, no, not again.
Once again, he's been
Dewey.
And I will
I am
run.
so tempted to make you roll a wisdom saving throw against panic attack.
I will run back into the other room and go, well, hi, oh, there you are, there you are.
Something happened?
There was an empty room.
All right.
However, did you find your way out?
I think it's the planetarium. It's got a very nice sunset.
Ooh, let's go see.
Well, can we finish exploring the rooms in this wing first?
Oh yeah, we could. You went to the room.
The
The first.
Yeah, in the first
Yeah, in
hall.
the
Hallway,
first
okay,
hall, yeah.
just-
So there's
yeah.
one more door in
One more
this
door in
one.
this hallway. Great. Yeah, maybe we take a peek in that one as we work our way back to the planetarium.
Hopefully there's no more offensive art.
You were attacked by Art?
Yes.
Technically, he attacked the odd. It was more of a metaphorical attack. Lester has a thing about dragons. Don't bring it up.
Gold dragon.
Okay, the other door
Okay.
then.
All right, so opening the door, peeking inside,
Yeah.
same standard operation.
Yeah.
All
Never
right.
trust anything that tells you repeatedly how good it is.
Each corner of this pleasant parlor has a scarlet armchair and a reading table piled high with books. A cheery fire burns in the fireplace. A pair of swords sits in a rack above the fireplace, and the heads of various animals are mounted on the walls.
Normal
Vanilla is
animals?
gonna keep an eye out on the animals. Well, books.
Normal for this space? There's a stag, a wolf, a peryton, a hellhound, and a black dragon wormling.
Oh, yeah. Sabachthani gets like her eyes do the like thing where you see like fire flicker through them really quick as she sees the hellhound and the black dragon worm. Now is not the time to be judging people on their sport content. Find the book.
I plop down in one of the chairs and finish off my mint julep.
Of course you do.
Excellent. Anyone who would like to can roll me an investigation check to look through the room.
23.
15.
15.
My goodness. What is this? A stat
know.
roll?
15.
So Dewey, you're looking through one of the piles of books that are on the table next to the fireplace, and you're picking each one up and looking them through very thoroughly. And then you pick one up and turn it over, and it startles you a little bit as Mordenkainen's face kind of leaps.
Oh my.
Mostly because you're on edge. Like this face just glaring at you. Like, I cannot overemphasize.
How grumpy this man looks.
This man looks so grumpy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look up the art for the joy of extra dimensional spaces. It's
So
interesting.
joyful.
He's so
So
glowery
thrilled
faced.
about his extra dimensional space.
Isn't that like
I would like to speak to his eyebrow artist.
is the fireplace warm?
The fireplace is not. It is very pretty, and this room is warm. But as you get closer to the fire, you can tell it's an illusion.
Okay. What is the letter on the book?
The letter is the letter Y.
Why indeed?
So Dewey's just go over there going like, why? Why?
Is
Why what,
anything
sugar?
wrong?
Why?
Oh, you found another letter.
Reading is fundamental.
So we have a B, an I, an R, an E, and a Y.
Birdie.
That's not how that's spelled.
We don't have a D yet.
Reading is
Well,
fundamental.
we still need 2 more letters if the homunculi were correct, which may or may not be the case.
I mean, it's a better lead than anything else we've gotten. So far, they've been more helpful than our lost companion.
Do when we were looking at the book in the room, we didn't look at the spine. Maybe there's a letter on that one too.
In the reading room, you're
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Well, if we find,
And did
well, they do think there's 2 more in here, but if that doesn't create a word, then maybe it's an 8-letter.
Okay.
or we'll be missing a letter.
Okay.
Okay.
This planetarium you mentioned.
Yes. Right across the hallway. You should go in first. It's pretty scary in there.
I will.
So walking in, all of you see this looks like a laboratory. What you have walked into, and the far wall is covered in this beautiful star map, for lack of a better term.
Planar or
Material.
is it literally stars or is it like planes or?
Looking at it, it looks like stars. In fact, if anyone would like to, they can make me a survival check.
I would love to be
Yes,
survival
exactly.
check.
I was thinking.
I would be surprised if I made a survival check.
Yeah, you could always roll well.
Got 6.
Got a
9.
13. I'm surviving better than him.
15.
Unnatural 20.
Excellent. You recognize this as being the spring starscape over over the Sword Coast.
Okay. Yeah. I would
Mostly like this area of the Sword Coast, not like super south or super north.
So the mini Sword Coast.
The mid Sword Coast.
No, I will point that out to everyone.
And with that, you're examining it pretty closely. Looking at it, most of the stars are rendered like you would see on a normal star map, a normal astronomy. But there are 5 of them that stand out because they are indicated by bright silver suns.
Interesting. Does the positioning of those 5 seem to match up with maybe, say, like points of a sigil or a rune?
No, but they do seem to match up with possibly a constellation or part of a constellation.
Interesting. Okay, I will pull out my notebook and sketch a few little notes about
Okay.
things.
All right, what would all of you like to do in this room?
Searching for books.
I'm not going to assume. You have to tell me what you want.
I'm gonna throw up dancing lights and just try and illuminate the room as much as possible.
Okay.
You mentioned jars.
Yes.
I'm gonna have the dancing light go behind the jar so it illuminates through it.
Oh, disco.
Nice.
At Ouya.
Yeah, there are glass vessels and books that are on the long tables, and then there are cabinets with glass doors that have different kinds of specimens in them. Not quite the wetwork specimens that you saw downstairs.
And there was a door
Yes,
also?
there's a door on the far wall that has a silver, golden sun over it.
Is that door openable, does it seem? I'm not going to open it, but...
It looks like a door. It looks like a door that you've encountered. It looks like a door like the ones that you have encountered in this place.
But it has a symbol on it.
It has a symbol over it. The why do I keep saying silver? A golden sun above it.
I'm going to be perusing the jars and seeing what's inside.
Okay.
I'll look for a book.
Okay. Dewey?
Yes. Also looking for a book.
All right. Everyone who is doing investigations, roll me investigation checks, please.
18.
27.
Wait, can I also not go below my passive investigation?
I haven't heard a ruling on investigation. I think it's
Okay.
mostly perception.
13.
All right.
Natural one.
Wonderful. So after some digging, you all have eliminated the rest of the books in the room. We are with freaking 7. You're looking around, and then you kind of like lift yourself up a little bit because you are short, my friend. And in the middle table with your little feet kicking below and below, you see a letter staring you in the face.
What letter is it?
It is the letter T.
T! I found another one!
Liberty.
Liberty.
Is anyone gonna grab... Can I grab it?
You can't quite reach.
I am going to lift him up.
Make me an athletics check, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Oh, that's good. That's good. Athletics. 18.
Okay, yeah, you lift him up really easily, like to the point where we got kind of like, whoa, for a second.
Thank you.
Is there anything odd about that?
You can put me down.
Set him down?
About what in particular?
Picking him up.
Picking up the child?
If I say yes, are we going to be in violation of TOS?
Does he weigh the normal amount that an 8-year-old
Is
would
that's
weigh?
the question.
Is he an 8-year-old boy?
Like,
He weighs what you would assume an 8-year-old boy would weigh. I mean, it's been a while since you've been around an 8-year-old boy, but
Yeah. Okay.
but he does seem to be proportioned according to what an 8-year-old boy would be.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go open the other door while they're finishing looking for books.
Cool, go
I
for
have
it.
finished copying my app, and I will just peek inside. I'm gonna roll perception, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. I just feel like I should be rolling for something.
D&D.
You know, I think I'm the only person who hasn't gotten nat 20 yet tonight, so it's bound to happen at some point. It's for my passive perception of 15. So
Okay. The door
Pop the door.
The door opens into a dark, open space, offering a view of the starry firmament of the night sky. 5 telescopes mounted on bronze plates point toward the constellations above. In the middle of the space, a 1-foot diameter sphere of clear crystal sits in a circular brass stand. And looking in, it looks like a grassy knoll, like the sort of thing that you would see overlooking the Sword Coast.
The grassy.
I've been there.
Leaving that alone. But it looks like a beautiful, comfortable grassy knoll on a moonless night.
Excellent. I think I found the planetarium! And then I would like to go around and I would like to look in each of the telescopes without touching them and see what they're pointed for.
Okay. They are pointed in all sorts of directions. They don't seem to be 4 of them don't seem to be pointed at anything in particular.
Okay.
When you look into the 5th one, it is pointing at. So you look into it, and then you look up at the sky, and it is pointed at a very bright star.
Is the star that it is pointed at seem to match up to this particularly marked constellation that I found on the star map?
Yes.
Interesting. Continue sketching and add to it.
Well, not like it continues the constellation. It looks
No,
like
but
it
it
matches
matches to
one of them.
Yeah, but I'll sort of make
Yeah.
a notation, and then I want to go take a look at this crystal ball.
All right. It looks like a crystal ball. You've seen them in magic shops all over the place. People usually use them for scrying.
Yeah.
It looks like a good-sized crystal ball. Probably pretty heavy if you pick it up.
You know, you're really supposed to keep a cover on these things, because if you don't, they have a tendency to set the house on fire. Not that this house needs any help with that, apparently, with all of us here.
What is the point of this room in an extra-dimensional space? It's not as if there's a night sky. This is all a simulation.
Well, that really raises a question, doesn't it? Why is someone
Thus my
trying
point.
to study the night sky from an extra-dimensional space?
Well, she was trying to make gold.
Do you do that with
Connect those
stardust?
dots.
What?
Well, I mean, if you connect the constellation, that's a connecting with that.
I've never heard of alchemical properties of astronomy being combined with a philosopher's stone or anything of that sort.
Or maybe it was Freya's interests.
Maybe it's a puzzle. What if we need to point these things at something? At
Well-
certain stars.
We found enough letters that we have a good guess of what our escape word is. Is there really more we need to do?
Well, there's certainly more to learn here, but of course, if we have found our escape word, we can come in and out at our leisure. Presumably, although our dear dumb wizard friend did let out a blood-curdling scream before the door closed, which makes me highly concerned about what might now be on the other side of things. And I'm saying that as someone who grew up in a household full of blood-curdling screams.
I mean, he probably wasn't supposed to take a book out.
Yeah. Also, there's been no treasure here. No gold, no stacks of gold, piles of gold, no, kill a monster and have it be full of treasure.
No, there's mostly just a lot of monsters.
Full of paper.
There's
Yeah.
plenty of
And
pie.
tentacles.
I bet you that there's still treasure here somewhere.
Following Dewey's suggestion, I'm going to take these other four, take the time to do the other 4 telescopes and point them at, or try and find where in the sky the other 4 stars would be for that.
I'll
5
help with that.
Does it seem like this correspond, like the sky in here corresponds to the sky out on the mural?
Yes. And this room, I mean, the whole place is weird. Let's just establish that right now. The whole building is really freaking weird. This room is particularly weird because when you step out into it, it's like you're stepping onto grass, really springy turf grass. And when you close the door behind you, so you can see the night sky better, it extends in all directions. It's like being under a bowl of a planetarium. But if you peer off into a distance, more than 20 feet away from you, it just sort of gets fuzzy.
Even in the telescopes?
Even in the telescopes.
Presume this is an extra-dimensional space within an extra-dimensional space.
Doesn't that cause explosions?
I hope not.
Or joy.
Which is a form of explosion if you really think about it.
Okay, well,
Nope.
if you want to try to solve your puzzle in the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes before we can try to leave this place.
I'm with Miss Adilla on this.
So the two of you are arranging telescopes and pointing them. You have the star map from out there. So looking at that and looking up, you're able to locate them pretty easily and point the telescopes at the correct stars. And when you do, these little beams of light come out of the telescopes and shine into the crystal sphere. And a door on the back wall opens.
More doors.
A door!
Yay!
That is bizarrely overwrought.
Apparently, these wizards got incredibly creative about trying to keep their secrets for some inexplicable reason.
Dewey, you're a
suck at-
wizard. You like doors, right?
Yeah. Love doors.
Doors are
Is that a prerequisite?
Locks on
Dewey,
doors
why
are
don't you
cool.
open that door?
Let's go to it! And Dewey's gonna run up and throw it open.
Bill has both of her daggers out right now.
Fair enough. The room is bare, except for a bookshelf covered in chains against one wall. A plain wooden
room.
bench and a reading desk built into the shelves. A book with the bust of a mage on its cover sits on the desk.
Does it have an L on its spine?
It does.
Wow.
So also,
Bertily.
yeah.
The name of the third wizard.
They're the
Books with chains.
Yes.
You shouldn't be quite so excited about that.
He's a 15-year-old
Those are
boy.
the 50 copies of Dangerous Omen.
Lester, this looks like the section you were looking for.
All right. So,
Yeah,
I
cut,
think
not
Dewey,
change.
Dewey and we are both like racing to be the first one to get there.
and as you approach, I mean, this thing is tall. It is all the way up to the ceiling. Which,
You win again, Gravity.
Would have been a Goliath, but you wanted to be an 8-year-old child.
So it extends all the way up to the ceiling, which is about 20 feet above you in this space. And as you approach, I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Yeah!
Only two of us approached.
The two wizards.
This room is not big.
Hey, similar to
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I,
Not faster than the road.
That's right. Going last is gonna be good because I think I'm gonna need a healing potion.
I was gonna say, I think I might actually go last, but we'll see.
All right, so 20 to 25.
Maybe we should start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 20 to 15. 15 to 10.
rocking a 12.
Lead us off. Notice the monster's going first.
That's appropriate.
Don't be surprised.
Um,
I got a 7.
You might want to just
7.
count down from 10 at this point.
What's your dex?
16.
I think I'm a 17. Yeah.
I'm impressed that you know that.
Lester than anyone higher than 7?
Lester, Dewey,
6.
uh-huh,
And 5.
my
Good last.
Okay.
You don't have to be that fast, just faster than the rogue.
Faster than the rogue.
Hey, I'm going.
That's a new hashtag.
I'm the second fastest member of this party.
It's like outrunning a bear. You just need to be
I
faster
mean, to be
than the
fair,
next
it's
person.
great because it gives us time to get our butts kicked, but be in melee range so that she can do all the damage.
There's not even a map on the table. We're not fighting.
Yeah.
So I would like the two of you who are running toward it to make me a dexterity check, please.
Dexterity check or
Check.
Save.
No check.
And that's the last we saw of Dewey.
Do we need to?
We
help
could.
you
Yeah,
in
we've
some
got
way?
inspiration.
So I've got a 5.
What do we?
I got a 4.
How much inspiration do we have?
Oh my
What
god.
are our
I
cards?
don't-
Hey, wait.
So-
this is our last day to
This
use
is
the
the last
cards.
day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've got Change of Fate, which is just a reroll.
Yeah.
We only have one of those, so only one of them.
Okay, what else we
The
have?
other one gets let's see,
Half
half damage from
half
bludgeoning,
damage,
piercing,
which-
slashing from non-magical.
Maybe we use a change of fate card for one roll and inspire
Right.
the other.
Maybe for
Wait, you have an inspiration too, right?
Dewey,
We have 3
because
inspiration.
he has less hit points.
Yeah, I don't know. So 5 and a 4.
Yeah.
If I roll a 6 on, so it's a 5 or a 6. He has to roll. So give me the d6.
Okay.
He can have the reroll.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Change of fate.
All right. Watch as
Change
I
of fate.
squander this.
Earn this.
We're trying what we've got.
All right.
Or 9.
That's better. 12.
Okay. Well, yeah, you get to the this library thing, this tall shelf first.
Oh, okay.
Use the cards, so it's fine.
Suck it, Dewey!
Eldritch
Our own
Blast.
destruction.
Yeah. It's okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Also, it looks like since we're going into combat, we have 1,000 bits from Duke Fleek for the players.
Oh.
Ezra. Laura. I do at least try to warn you before I throw things at you. All right, so
We should. I mean, we rolled initiative.
yes, and this you reached it first, and it was inanimate before you got there, and then it takes 2 attacks on you.
The bookshelf? Oh, shit. No.
Chains. Those chains, man.
Actually, yes, it is a chained book attack.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, a chained book basically comes flying out at your face. Ah, in the box. Yeah, I strongly suspect that a 6 is not going to hit you.
Zoom!
And second
As,
attack?
as it's
Oh,
coming
shit.
back.
Okay. Yeah, no. Apparently this thing was as surprised by you guys coming in as you were to have a book suddenly flying at your face.
It's as scared of you as you are of it.
Since you are attacking Wuya, I should point out you have a DM inspiration.
I don't... What is Wuya's?
That's messed up.
Maybe.
I mean, you gotta use it.
Or it goes into the boy.
It's true. I mean, I don't use it.
No, I'll let the dice fall where they did because I rolled 2 2s in a row. Somehow that feels like fate, and I would have to roll a 5 or higher in order to hit him.
Yeah.
So this thing like threw 2 books at you, and you are just like, what the Matrix dodging out of the way.
Does that stop me enough so I'm not within 5 feet, or is it?
Nope,
does
it
that be-
had to be within 5 feet
5
of you.
feet, okay.
It does stop the rest of you so that you are more than 5 feet away from it, for what that's worth.
Okay.
And Wuya, you are up first.
Okay. Let's.
I have a battle map. I'm not going to bother. We're doing this theater of the mind, damn it. It's not a very big room.
I feel like we've got a pretty clear visual. There's
Yeah.
a room, and then there's a shelf full of chained books that's trying to murder us.
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, great.
that's accurate.
Well, that's not helpful.
Take a 5-foot step.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step back, not disengaging.
Unfortunately, 5-foot steps do not exist in 5e.
But
Or I mean, like back,
disengaging
like
does.
like walking backwards.
Yes, so if you're not disengaging and you move out of its
Oh, yeah, no.
reach, then you're gonna take an attack of
Oh
opportunity.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you could just disengage, right?
No, I'm gonna blast that shit.
All right.
Unless I'm dead after this.
I was gonna say, pride goeth before a fall, my friend. And that was a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah, right. It's gonna leave a mark.
And it is a-
Don't be
A
14.
bookmark!
I was
Thank you so much for watching Sources Saved.
That was the shortest campaign quest the cat has ever run.
Ezra will no longer be appearing on Swords and Sages.
Oh, goodness. I should feel bad about doing max damage to you. I really don't.
We brought this on ourselves. That's the thing.
Yep.
So yeah, that is 6 points of damage on you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dewey became a man that day.
Well, I have never been assaulted like that before.
The pun or the
Nope. Let's take that back 12 steps. Speaking of 12 steps,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast a Witch Bolt on this thing. Why not?
You are out of its reach now, so if you want to go further back than 5 feet,
Oh yeah.
you are more than welcome
Yeah,
to.
I will go back my full 25 feet.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt.
All right, roll me an attack.
Whee! 26.
Ooh, that's-
Oh, that's going to hit.
And then that's I think it's a D12.
Yes, sir.
Not on.
In the box.
In the box. 11 damage.
Nice.
Like full Darth Sidious of after being smacked by a book in the face. It's just like. You will die.
Unsettling to see coming from such a small child.
Just like crackling energy of lightning just coming out of Wuya's fingers.
Excellent. All right. Lester, it is your turn.
This would be a good time to use fire again.
Yeah, that's a good point. I could.
I should mention that these are iron-bound books because they have chains in them.
Guess I'll just Eldritch Blast then. That's my best. Oh, there we go. That's a 23.
That hits.
All right, so I do a D10.
Your favorite die.
3 points of damage. I'm not rolling one of them.
Fair.
All right.
That's weird.
What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
It is very kind of, it's ugly green, and it's kind of this pestilency, and I reach out, and as I do, like the cracks in the neck glow with that green, and maybe a little bug like skitters out.
Excellent. After this thoroughly unsettled insight, Dewey, it is your turn.
Before I go, I would like to point out J. Matthews 85. with one.
You just want to point him out?
Yes.
He's right over there.
Right. 500 bits for Ezra's amazing dad joke.
Don't encourage him. He doesn't need it.
Good night, everybody.
Here you are.
You know what? I got a ray of frost, and I think that's what I got.
All right.
So I'm gonna step aside from Mr. Moreover and see it and go.
All right. Roll me an attack.
Did you just shoot me in the back?
No,
because you have a history.
I
He
do.
does.
No, Angel, that's my job.
Susanna has a permanent scar from that one.
14 to hit.
On the nose.
Oh, nice.
You know, bookshelves don't dodge a lot.
Yep. For 5 points of damage, and its movement is reduced by 10 feet.
That'll show it.
Yep.
If you knew how fast this thing's speed was, you'd
Bam, bam, bam.
Hopefully it's 10 feet and it can't move. We just.
See, unfortunately, I'm just like, but I picture it just like fully wall slamming.
Right, it's like the bookshelf is the entire wall, and it just slowly slides forward.
Oh God.
slowly is the word you're looking for there.
Oh.
So Bakthani, it is your turn.
Great. I know. I'm just gonna from the doorway sort of cock my head at the bookshelf and start whispering in abyssal under my breath, and I would like the bookshelf to fail a wisdom saving throw, please.
I do love it when you talk dirty.
I feel like that's going to happen, yes. Yeah, that's a 5.
Weird. Books are not inherently wise. That's really
Isn't that odd?
bizarre.
Nor are they particularly intelligent. It has a negative to its intelligence, too.
That seems unfortunate. Well, let's see. That is going to be 8 damage, and it must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
It kind of lurches side to side like it wants
Like
to.
it wants to run away.
But it can't.
Is anybody going to do melee? Because we can go ahead and use some dangerous oil.
Yep.
Oh, what was
Makes
it
the
think?
weapon +1.
Yeah.
Okay, might as well.
All right, so.
I give you this gift.
Not that we need it, but as a bonus action, I will look at Adela and be like, I think you got this, sugar, and give her some more bardic inspiration.
Excellent.
Nice.
So you
We
are.
could free it with
are-
the magical key.
Unlock the key.
Are you planning to get within. 2 questions. Are you planning to get within melee range, and are you planning to use the dangerous oil?
I feel like I have to. She's gonna say, how many books do I have to fight today? And then she's gonna...
There's your episode title.
Yeah.
There is your
I'm gonna
episode.
have to use that one.
yeah, she'll rush. And she has both of her daggers out still.
All right.
Remember.
So you're turning one of them into a +1 dagger?
Yes.
All right. You can't use one too,
The
but
good one.
the good one.
Socials.
The card, please. Thank you, Miss Ma'am.
We could also give her an extra attack with this one.
Yeah.
We got.
Okay.
We gotta-
I'm already
I mean, we
doing
gotta
my
burn
weapon fighting since I have them both out already.
Okay.
You know, gotta use my luck points.
You got
Use
bardic,
lose
you've
them.
got luck.
Well, that was pretty low.
Wait, it was 14, right?
The AC is 14,
Yeah,
as far as
so-
we've established.
Yeah, that was a 7.
Plus, what do you get? Or what's your plus?
Oh, right. I'm
That's
using my
With the
daggers.
+1.
Never mind, not using luck yet. Oh yeah, that just hits then, right? Wait, 7? Yep.
7, so it's a
14.
+6 plus the 1. Yep, then you hit with
forgot.
that. Roll me some damage with that. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone else is within melee, so it's just
Why didn't you leave Rusty? Why didn't you send Rusty?
So it's the D4 plus your plus your thing +1.
+1 to the damage.
Because
okay,
they-
so that'll be 8 total.
Okay.
And since I have my other dagger out, I can attack with that as well, right?
Yes, you can use your bonus action to make an offhand weapon attack, and you add all the normal things to it because you have 2-weapon fighting.
Do I have to do it? What happens with offhand weapons?
So usually when you attack with an offhand weapon, you don't add anything to the damage of it.
Oh, okay.
But with 2-weapon fighting, you don't have that problem.
Got it. Okay, that'll hit for 18.
Excellent, that does hit. Roll me a D4, please.
Okay, well, hey, max 4
4 plus.
plus 4, 8.
That's a lot of damage. You
Yeah, it is. This thing shudders. Like, if you've ever seen a bookshelf in a heavy earthquake, kind of like that, except side to side instead of front and back.
And not? Yep, that's all I'm gonna do for now.
All right.
We could, we could give you another attack. We've got this. You gain an extra action.
Oh yeah, might
Yeah,
as well.
go for it.
All right.
You're doing all the damage.
Yeah.
And are you going to use your dangerous oil weapon?
Yeah.
The DM says suggestively.
Yep. Okay. Yep, that'll hit for 16.
Yes, indeed. Roll me some damage.
Okay.
In the box.
Good. That's one. Still one. 1 plus 5 plus another 1, 6.
All right. Claim your kill.
This time around, since she just has the 1, she's going to go Zoro style and do a big O.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is excellent. So yeah, you carve this enormous O into it, and as your magically enhanced dagger cuts through the chains, it shudders again and then goes still as a book drops on the floor in front of you.
She's just gonna shut her eyes. I swear, if this is joy, I've extra dimensional spaces.
It is not.
Okay.
It is a book that still has a piece of chain attached to it.
Okay.
It is not moving.
Okay.
I'll walk in and pick it up for you.
Yeah.
Just pick it up. What is it?
It is a book weapon that you can use as a +1 flail.
Oh.
Okay. A blunt object.
Did you want to do some book whacking?
Blunt objects are not exactly my style.
Maybe we could just
We'll hang on to it.
hang on to it. Yeah.
All right, so looking through the books that are in this room is where she kept the good stuff. This is books on sciences, arcana, alchemy, planar lore, and the summoning of fantastic creatures. This is where the spells for the summoning circle are. This is the stuff that she kept secret.
I think I see why there was such a convoluted puzzle in order to open the door for this space.
And God book. So yeah, we'll look through.
Yeah, if you see anything that looks like like this, and he holds open his spell book, so like the arcane runes. If you see anything like this, let me know.
I'm gonna watch the door and make sure your tentacled friend doesn't join us.
Oh, thank you, Sugar.
You enjoy your books.
And I think that's where we're going to leave it tonight. Because we're running a bit late, and I broke the rule, Thomas. I'm sorry about not starting combat after 9.
Oh, no, I didn't even know what time it was.
It is currently 10:09.
We dispatched those books very quickly.
She dispatched
Yeah,
them.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, scissors beats paper, so Odilla has invented
Rock, paper, scissors. Ghislaine, would you mind switching over to the slide that tells me what I'm supposed to say on the outro?
Just make it up.
Yeah.
No! There's a script. If there's a script, I don't make stuff up. That's not any fun.
That's how theater works.
Exactly. So, thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitch, a sub on YouTube, and a review on the podcast app of your choice. We have a very busy week this week. We have Cardboard and Chaos tomorrow evening playing Clank Legacy. That'll be at 6 or 7 Pacific time, whatever time we start. Keep an eye out.
6-ish.
6-ish. Keep an eye out for the notification. Wednesday, the Redacted Reports episode is dropping, and I'm excited about all of them, but we're winding up to the end of season 2, so things get interesting. Rime of the Frost Maiden is off for the next couple of weeks, but Down Darker Trails is going to be continuing Saturday evening, so join us for that. Any closing words, friends?
Hi, Andrea.
Be sure that you go, if you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, go buy some Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
And apparently you can you can pick them up in person here.
So thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you next week.